Oh God, Borderlands. All right, welcome to episode 224 of the Zenspath Entertainment Network Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Powers, and joining me this week, we have Chase.
G'day.
And Steven.
Hype.
Steven, was that a Blu-ray for the movie, or was that...
I paid $11 for the 4K Steelbook edition of Borderlands.
I forgot that movie even came out. I should probably find that just to watch something terrible.
Because yesterday they posted it was a deal on Amazon, and then when I went there, it had a targeted coupon saying, "How about another $4 off?" And I was like, "That's about as much as I'd pay for the game too." So cool.
Okay, I collect terrible video game movies as well, so I guess I should look for that to add to it.
Yeah, check Amazon. Let's see if it's still $11.99 or $14.99.
God. Well, we have a lot of other things we're going to talk about today to spend our money on, so we'll see. But this week we're going to we've changed our scheduled time, which is not going to affect anybody else. You're just going to hear the show when you hear the show. But we're recording a day early because tomorrow I have an event going with the local Ghostbuster stuff. So we're going to kind of skip over what we've been doing in group chat and pickups and all that. The cat's getting his part in there. Is it his or her?
Princess.
Her, okay. She's getting her part in there. We're hearing her. So.
Yeah, it's not an episode unless we hear her. So
right. But we're going to jump straight into, we've got our Gears of War event, we have the Xbox Showcase, and then we also have the first Nintendo Direct in 9 months. And then we're going to discuss about those. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. All right. So first off this week, we have the Gears of War E-Day unveiling. Well, not really unveiling. It was unveiled before, but we got a breakdown of it. Coming out for Xbox Series X, S, and PC only. It's not coming to PlayStation 5. It's coming out October 6th, though, so we have a release date. And I wanted to cover this one first because it was at the very beginning of the Xbox Showcase, and then it also had its own little, like, half an hour long thing at the end of the showcase. So I just slammed those two together, and here we are. But just off the bat, like, Chase, I know you're probably just as excited to play this as I am. Steven, what is your level of hype for this game? Like, are you wanting to play it and enjoy it?
I'm excited that they said they went back and they used those famous PR words, built from the ground up again. It was just funny that they said that they, at the moment they took that embodied Gears of War was not any of the gameplay, it was the trailer. The Mad World trailer when Marcus is surrounded by people. And they're like, that embodied Gears of War, and that's was our foundation. And I was like, all right.
I kind of get what they're going for with that, because that Mad World trailer really did kind of set the theme of that game, what everyone's expectation was. And it's something we still go back and watch to this day. Do you remember watching that original one, Chase, how it hit you back in the day?
Yeah, it was definitely I saw the trailer, and then I saw, like, the Game Informer had a big deal on Gears of War and stuff, and that's what made me want to get an Xbox 360. So it was a big driver for me. The game was
nice. But yeah, some of the changes Microsoft and Xbox decided to announce during their events and everything was they're returning back to some console exclusives. Mind you, it's console exclusive. It will still be on PC because that's part of Microsoft's thing. But this is one of 2 games that they announced are staying just on Series X or in Series S. So it may have been announced for PS5, and it seems they may have just kind of pulled this last minute, because part of a trailer that they showed later still said PS5.
Okay, what I heard is that they were told a month in advance.
Mm-hmm.
But some places still didn't go back and edit it. So, like, one of their podcasts and things, they were like, "Oh, we have it listed on there," so they had to quickly shut it down and put it back up without the graphic. So it was done a month in advance, but people are saying that somewhere there exists a USB drive with the full Gears of War E-Day on PS5 on it.
So I wanted to ask, what do you guys feel about that decision of Xbox kind of going back and having some exclusives, including, being Gears of War, which is kind of a a tentpole Xbox title. I think it's one of the identifying ones to me, at least.
I think it's.
Chase, oh, go ahead.
I think it's. I just have something short to say. I think it's good that they're just redirecting to how it should have been in the first place. Like, I'm
Okay.
not saying how it helps or hurts them. It'll always hurt them in sales because it's not on every system. But they're going back to saying like we're a gaming system. We're not just an everything system where you can just find our games on everything else. So all of them.
Right. Chase, what about you? What's your thoughts on this change to exclusivity?
I'm fine with it. Like, Sony's got their exclusives, Nintendo's got their exclusives, Microsoft needs their exclusives. So, just it makes sense. It's fine.
Yeah, my thought on it's been for a while that they should have kept some of the exclusives. I agree, like they should spread the games out, especially titles that have multiplayer components. It benefits them to have that on more places. It benefits us, more importantly, to have that on more places. It's benefit like Helldivers 2 when Sony let that go over to Xbox and to PC, that let all of us play a lot easier than just keeping it on PlayStation 5. And Sony, they pulled the card recently where all their single player story based games are only going to be on console. They're not even coming to PC anymore. And I find it funny how many people defended that and were fine with it. But then all of a sudden this happens with some of the Xbox games. And it's like, oh, they're just feeding the console wars. They're never going to make the sales if they don't put it somewhere else. And it's like, that works both ways, right? Like,
they're establishing what's their flagship games or their new IPs that they want to hold on to.
Yeah, and I think the argument I've tried to have for a while is if you've got two systems, be the PS5 and the Xbox, and the PS5 has its games that can only be played there, and they're getting the games from Xbox, who in their right mind would even bother getting an Xbox? Like, yeah, we've talked, we like the hardware, we like the interface, but if you're not getting all those other games, but you'll still get these, it doesn't make sense for the interface to be that big a deal. Like, you're just going to ignore it and get a PlayStation. So they need some kind of identifying or separation for it. And it's why Nintendo sells so damn well, because you're not getting those games anywhere else unless you break the law and try and do a bunch of stuff that's not going to be the best way to play it.
Yeah, I feel Sony's decision was because they just had bad timing and just a lot of bad news happened to them. But I think Xbox, whether we think they did or not, I believe they tested the waters. I'd be interested to find out some sales numbers for Gears of War Reloaded, because Forza, they went out and said it sold great on PS5. So that tells me, okay, we're continuing with that. And people love their RPGs as well, so they were like, yeah, we'll give you Fable as well. But I'd be excited to see like what was the top selling platform for Indiana Jones or something like that. But I'm thinking they pulled the Mass Effect 3 on Wii U and they said, here's a little bit to see if you want this on your system, and then they're like, no, okay, we'll keep it.
You love bringing up that Mass Effect on Wii U.
It
was a terrible move by EA. I get that.
Imagine playing Revenge of the Sith before learning anything else.
No shit. At least with Gears of War, the remaster they did, that was at least the first game. Like, it was the beginning of the story. It would have been so much worse if they just released, like, we're remaking Gears of War 3. Here you go. Just release that on there and nothing else. That one I think would fit better. But some of the other better news, going back to the game itself, we are confirmed getting 4-player online co-op and then 2-player local split screen, which is great. Gears of War, I think, thrives in the co-op. Chase, you and I have played through the entire series in co-op, which has been great. When they allowed for a third person, Steven, you were a robot and you joined us. So thankfully you'll be able to be in with this one so we can play through this one co-op day one, which I'm looking forward to. This one, though, takes place in the city of Kelowna, just before and during the initial emergence day of the Locust Horde. You get to explore the whole city to find small stories and side missions, which is good. And you can find these even if you're playing co-op and you separate. So apparently you can divide and go wherever you want. You're not having to stay together the whole time. So you may be on a mission or going through the city, and you could find different paths you can go to get to the point. You can go separate ways, and one of you might end up getting into a sniper nest. The other one could go try and sneak around the side and flank them. The other could just go head first and probably
I hope
die.
that there's dog tags that if you find them, it counts for everybody.
Oh my god, yeah,
Yeah,
that's gonna be.
I hope so, actually.
Because if I split up, like,
I think it's
oh,
in the other
dog tags,
games.
like,
Actually.
well, I can't get over there right now. I'm in a giant firefight.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
like 5 minutes away.
I think it did in some of the newer games, actually. Though, to be fair,
I would be okay if it would at least, like, if there's a map, if it would mark it for me to go back and get later. I'd be fine with that. Like, hey, we know where it is and it's been discovered. You just have to go get it on your own.
I did.
If they didn't do that,
whether people like love or hate his opinion, like I love that even Cliffy B was just like, Gears of War is back on track. Like, he really liked D-Day.
As much as he was involved with as one of the original creators of the series, I kind of like, I'll take his opinion on it. Like, I think he has a right to say something about it. His decision doesn't hold any water on what they do, but he can say something, I guess.
It's just nice to have the blessing sometimes of a creator.
Agreed. And he said, like he said, he's going back to the roots of it, which is good. They are using a new engine for this, which is kind of nice, which has really increased the destructibility of the environments. You and all of us were watching, like, we actually streamed the reveal for all this, and we put it up on the Discord. I didn't bother putting it up on YouTube because it already got a copyright notice from freaking Crazy Taxi. Thanks a lot, Offspring. But I at least put it on there so you can watch it on the Discord under our Xbox channel. And even I noticed, I was like, oh yeah, the destructibility, like you're shooting through the glass and the way it's shattering and the car damage. And they went into a lot more detail. But it's not just the environment, but you can blow apart parts of the people and the creatures in a really nasty way, which is kind of fun. So that's going to be good. They ended up also changing the movement system to kind of enhance that. So now when you go into the run, you can drop into a slide to go under things, or you can climb up on top of stuff. So there's a lot more verticality than I think we've ever seen before. I don't think we haven't been able to climb in any of them like this. I don't think.
That's what happens when you're not wearing the armor.
Well, I mean, even in the armor, they're doing it.
But like,
they're younger.
Maybe they're young and fry now, or yeah.
I think the first like scene where he jumped on top of like the store shelves and like it was quite high up, and I was like, oh yeah, this is different. Like, it's just usually like you would just vault over cover, but like you wouldn't necessarily just like leap up and like climb up things. So it's just that was, they've definitely increased the range of movement and possibilities.
Yeah, so like the verticality, you can climb up to get the views above things, but it also, they did a type of cover because they revamped the cover system too. You can get in and out much smoother to get into things, but there's low cover. Like they showed like a road that had been broken and it just barely popped up a little bit, and Marcus was like tucked down as low as he could get trying to fit under there, which is like the bare minimum of cover. Like, I'm kind of here, please don't kill me. So that's going to make more of the environment kind of a fun way to get around and see what you can do. So yeah, I'm definitely looking for that. They added jumping, and I didn't know how to feel about that at first. Thankfully, it does seem to be contextual, like a Zelda game. So if you run up to a gap, he'll just kind of jump over it if it's possible. It's also part of the climbing.
Otherwise, that would be a huge detriment to the review score, saying like, I don't want platforming in my Gears.
I wanted to ask you guys about that. Like, Chase, what do you feel about jumping in a Gears game?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I would necessarily want them to add like an actual jump button.
Me either.
Because like in the original games, it used to be you'd walk up to a gap and you'd just, I think, press like the A button and then they would leap over something. But yeah, it was like, it wasn't excuse me, it wasn't like tied to a button, so to speak, like a platform or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if they're trying to be seamless and cinematic now, where they're running from something that's about to fall on them or something, then contextual like this makes a lot more sense with the Zelda aspect of just run up to it and you'll jump, run up to it, you'll jump. That way you're not interrupted by having to just press A for some weird reason.
Yeah, I think with them trying to go with this city, because this city feels almost like a small open world, I think is what they're going for as you explore about it. Like you'll have missions, but it won't be as level based as the old Gears, I think, because they've limited that. So they don't want, this lets you kind of explore without feeling walled off as much. So I think that was a good middle ground to go with. And I agree, like, having it be a button would just be so awkward. Like, what would it take away from? Because the controls are so tight on a Gears game. And I don't want that to change. It needs to feel like Gears of War when I pick it up. Like, yeah, I get it. They're new in this world, but it's still Gears. So I want that control to be familiar. Speaking of familiar, we do get to see a lot of returning weapons as well as the beginnings of the weapons. So, we have the old Lancer or the retro Lancer or whatever we used to call it. But we see, and they did say they'll be doing this, kind of the evolution and the first models of the Chainsaw Lancer, which is kind of great. So I wonder how quickly we'll actually get that. They have a couple weapons that don't show up later for whatever reason, maybe just as a short-term availability and they just didn't have it later. But we're getting one that's called the Gut Puncher. That's a grenade launcher that you can set the explosive timer by how long you hold the trigger. So we're going to end up having a lot of those bounce the grenade around a corner and see if you can, time it correctly to blow up on them, which is going to be a lot of fun when we figure that out. And then the Incinerator Shotgun, which looks absolutely horrendous. It fires emulsion rounds, which burns and melts away the skin and flesh of an enemy, which does show off really well the flesh deterioration. I'm kind of glad that one didn't stick around, because if that one had been in other games, it would have been, I don't know how I'd feel about that. It does have an axe for a grip, so I think we all know that's going to be some great glory kills. Like when someone's down and you get to finish them off, you're going to flip that thing around. Because you remember, I think my favorite of those was the sniper rifle. You'd flip it over like a golf club and just hit them. I think it's going to be something like that, where they just flip the gun to the other side and just axe somebody. Do you guys have any favorites of those from the old games? I know you probably had a couple of them, Chase.
I kind of like the like when you carried like the big minigun, because you just like drop it on them basically.
I forgot about that.
The Lancer was also good too, just because you just like stick the chainsaw in and rev it up, which was always like really bloody mess. But there's a couple good ones in there.
Yeah, they definitely upped the gore, because not only did the bodies tear apart, but like you get covered in blood, which they pointed out with the shotgun. Steven, did you have an old favorite for those glory kills?
They were hard enough to get as is, so I just went with Old Faithful, and that was running around with a bayonet. And when I got somebody, you just lifted them up and slammed them back down. I was just like, all right.
That was really well animated, yeah. And just the golf club just always got me, because it was so effective, but so damn funny. Oh, man. Another thing I really enjoyed about these, they went back and redid all of the audio. So everything's been rebuilt, redone, so that it's in higher quality. They can kind of track with the surround sound and the effects better. But I love the fact that they went back and found the exact model of the chainsaw that they used for the original Lancer to make sure that it sounded correct. And I like that level of work.
There's probably somebody who paused and zoomed in and is purchasing that chainsaw now.
I think during the video they said what model it was. So that company should be thanking them. They probably just got a boost in sales.
Why are we getting all these orders then? E-Day's coming.
Why did somebody say this chainsaw is a collectible? Oh, God. That's funny. One of my favorite modes for Gears has always been the Horde mode, and we're getting a new Horde Siege multiplayer mode, which now has 12 players, where you can fight back against waves and massive events. So this might be one of the few times I'm like, all right, I guess we can play with randoms, because I don't think we're going to be able to get 12 people together.
Yeah, I always enjoy PvE.
We don't have enough friends.
We don't. Join our Discord. We need you for Horde mode.
And
I would schedule some damn days for that too if we can get enough people on there. What'd you say, Steven?
I said we need more for Super Earth and for the good of
Kelowna.
my Kelowna.
My Kelowna.
My Kelowna.
Well played, sir. We need to make a clip of that one.
There's going to be so many jokes. There's going to be so many jokes with that.
Yeah.
Someone's going to make a song.
The internet's better do their job.
I expect and hope for that, and I don't think they're going to let us down. So, before we move on to the actual Xbox showcase, I want to get our thoughts on the Gears of War presentation, as well as what we're thinking of the game, because we're all getting it. We know we're all getting it. I'm super excited for this, but I want to hear what you guys have. Chase, I'm going to make you wait. Steven, what are your thoughts first?
I'm kind of excited. I want to see kind of how the deluxe one pans out and stuff like that of what's being offered. And it's the most expensive collector's edition I've seen in a while for Gears. $300.
Comes with a good sized statue, I think, as well.
It's a nice statue, though. Yeah.
All right, Chase, what about you?
Oh, I mean, I'm definitely excited for it. I was saying, like I've said before a while back, that I really like the fact that they're exploring the backstory. Like, I wish more games with like really like lore heavy things would sometimes do this. It's like we actually get to kind of see this.
We're kind of getting a little bit of one on another title we'll talk about in a bit too.
Yeah. But actually, like, I would even argue that maybe Gears in like a spin-off game could potentially do like the Pendulum Wars and explore that as well. Like, there's plenty of content there, and honestly,
we've talked about that before too.
Yeah, honestly, go for it. Like, I would be super happy with that.
That's another fun thing about this I meant to mention. I haven't read any of the books, but apparently a fan favorite character from the earlier books is going to finally show up in the game as one of the pilots. So that's just kind of neat to have that happen, you know? It's a nice little
inevitable crossover. Gears of Total War.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So obviously we all can kind of tell I'm excited as hell for this game. Gears of War has been a series I have loved from the beginning. Played it with my friend Jeremiah. I've got to play through again. Chase, it's kind of how you and I kind of connected initially, was playing through the entire Gears. It was our rite of passage to become friends.
I think I said, like, oh, if you ever want to play those games again, like, I've played them like 5 or 6 times. Like, I don't mind. Like, it's a game I'll always come back to. And Jeremy was just like, you son of a bitch, I'm in. And then it just was good.
And we did it, whole series in order. We didn't go back to like the very first one. We did the remake, which is fine.
Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, Ultimate Edition was just good.
I did enjoy seeing Jeremy kill himself whenever we had to go through a door.
Judgment. Gears of,
yeah, he was like, damn it, fuck.
That's why I was so glad we don't have a jump button, because they made that one change and I kept killing myself with grenades. That's why I don't want the controls to change, because I will end up blowing myself up every fucking time. Oh man. So yeah, I'm gonna be getting this one pre-ordered here pretty soon. I think it should be available now. So when I go back tomorrow, I'll have to pick it up. But yeah, October 6th, we'll definitely be playing this shit. All right, let's jump over to the actual Xbox Showcase 2026 proper. All right, so we had a pretty good size event for this one. I think it was about an hour that they went through. So we're not covering every game they had. Some of them we'll go through kind of quick. Some of them we'll talk about a little bit more. Obviously, if you watch that, they started off with Gears of War, which we just did, so we don't need to talk about it again. But they did go next into Fable. which is coming to Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PS5 on February 23rd, 2027. So we have a date. But two things got showed off that I was already excited for Fable. I like where they're going with it. But they announced two characters that greatly surprised me and intrigued me. So the past couple of trailers, they've been showing us different heroes or characters, which has been really funny as a way to kind of show how the world is built up and kind of sold me on their idea. But this one has Haley Atwell, which you might remember as like Captain Carter from like the Marvel movies and Captain America and things. She's revealed as a character called Isabel, the hero of Wraith Marsh. Cannot talk today.
Totodile.
Totodile, yeah. It will never die. I need to just make that a clip so we can just use it. I still don't even know why I said it that way. I know it was wrong. Anyways, but she's playing what I find interesting, a hero turned evil because she believes she's the only actual hero capable of fixing Albion. So that's such an interesting twist on that that type of character, where she was this, one of the heroes helping everyone, but she believes she's so good at it and so righteous in it that she's the only one that can really do it, and everyone's having to kind of stop her. And then on top of that, they hinted at the very end of the trailer, Jack of Blades is returning, who was the main antagonist in the very first Fable. So it's kind of interesting to see him come back, and I'm wondering if maybe they have some kind of connection to Isabel, maybe. But did you guys watch any of the developer stuff for Fable that they showed later on? They had like some extra interviews and things.
Well, they had like 16 minutes where they showed all the gameplay and stuff like that. I still need to watch that because they heavily went into how the NPCs interact and such.
I put that up on the Discord. If you get a chance to watch it later, it's really cool. But to give a breakdown, because I did watch it, and it really impressed me how the interactions go. They made a really fun, creative way that when you're dealing with people, there's kind of like a word bubbles almost like are floating that kind of show how people feel about you, and you get some information from them, and you can, they showed a guy that was out of a job and begging for money that you can kind of give some money to help, and that makes you gracious and kind. And then, you can go to a store, and he was trying to date the woman that was in there, and she had requirements of what, he needed to do to even have an attempt at it, which included like buying a business and doing all this other stuff. So he buys a bar and hires the homeless guy because he liked him and got him a job working there. And, how they deal with their profit and buying a house. And then it was really funny later because they wanted to show the bad side of doing stuff. So he went in, and like the barmaid that also fancies him, and he was kind of like not wanting to date her. He ended up just firing her, and her reactions basically cussing him out and leaving. It was just great. So I'm excited to see how these relationships play out in the game. Because that's one thing that was fun in Fable, but it was more generic, a roundabout. Like you would do stuff and people would give you nicknames and all that, but like specific characters didn't always treat you differently. It was kind of like the whole town thought you were this or that. And no matter what you do, different people will have different reactions. So it feels like no matter how many times you play it, it's going to feel a little different, which is hard to do, I think, sometimes. But I'm excited. I'm definitely going to be getting this one. I hate that it got pushed back to February because I really wanted to play it this year. But there's also so much shit coming out this year. I don't know if I can afford all of this.
In Stacktober and Stacktember.
Yeah. And freaking February is getting up there too. There's a lot of February titles coming out.
The only person who's decided to go head-to-head versus GTA so far is Godzilla.
And possibly Nintendo. Because Nintendo don't give a fuck.
Nintendo's like, what's that? Doesn't matter.
So I won't ask this for every one of the games, but this is a bigger one. Are you guys excited to play Fable, or is this not something you're interested in or wanting to give it a try, Steven?
I got to see what else is coming out in February. But otherwise, it'll eventually be on my radar. All the Fables have been. I really enjoyed 3. I think I beat that 3 times.
Nice.
because I did all good, all evil, and then my way. So yeah, I'll be excited to do that, especially with how big this game seems to be. But again, I have to be careful of what else is coming out. So
For sure. Chase, what about you?
I'm excited for who's making it. It's an interesting.
That's true.
Like,
Yeah, Playground Games. Makers of Forza.
let's be honest. Shanoa's going to play it before you. First off,
oh yeah.
and she's going to ask for help in certain areas as well, but she will play through it a lot.
Yeah, kind of like
It
another
seems like
RPG
something
that she's playing right now.
Yeah, it kind of feels like something you both can like take turns playing, because even if you're both
Take
playing
turns.
it,
He's funny.
yeah, my bad.
You're insinuating that she's good at sharing.
Fair enough.
But
like you could both play it and talk. Like we'll be able to talk about this game because we're all gonna be doing different things, so it's not really spoiling. It's just like, oh, cool, we can, I'm doing this. Oh, cool, I can do that.
Yeah. No, I mean, potential. We'll look into potentially getting. It might be one of those games where we'll each get our own copy, depending on.
One gets it for
how it
Xbox,
goes.
and one gets it for PS5. Problem solved.
Yeah, something like that. We'll figure it
Or
out.
Steam or something, or PC. Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to our next little game in here. All right, Halo Campaign Evolved for Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PlayStation 5 coming out July 28th. This is kind of a weird one, but we're getting 3 new missions added 1 year before the Ring discovery, called Operation Meteorite, which is following Master Chief and Sergeant Avery Johnson as they infiltrate a Covenant research vessel, as well as kind of do space battles. This is the game I was hinting at earlier during the Gears of War discussion, that they're at least kind of going back and covering some of the history, which is fun. And they did do that more with like Halo Wars and a couple of the other titles that kind of filled in the backside of it. The entire game can be played in 4-player co-op now, 2-player local. So we can all join on that one now, because before it was only 2, I think. And then, Steven, you'll be happy to know you can play the entire game now in third person, like a fucking monster.
Oh, Halo, you don't do that.
Okay, so now it felt weird when I saw that. I was like, I shouldn't be seeing the back of the Master Chief the whole time.
It's like trying to do that with there's another game that looks so awkward when you do that. I forget what it was though, but when you finally switch to third person, you're like, this is, even the animation was wrong.
Most of the Elder Rings games, I don't like playing that way. It feels right playing it in first person than third. I think Fallout does the same thing. But
I think that's what it was. Fallout, when you go to third person, you're like, yeah, I didn't spend a lot of time on this animation. You're like, ugh.
Like, oh, cool, I look at my armor. Back to first person. Put that away.
Yeah, like Sniper Elite, it's needed because you need to know where you're hiding and stuff. But
Yeah, and you got to be able to see, people sneaking up on you and so
you need
forth.
that little, and like even Splinter Cell, same thing. You need that little outline saying you're invisible.
I mean, we've had decades of playing this game in first person, so to move to third as an option just feels really awkward. So, there was some possible beef with PlayStation as this, because there was reports that the original trailer that was shown was supposed to have been unveiled during the state of play, but Microsoft pulled it at the last second, which kind of put them in a bind getting their stuff filled in there. Because you pointed out to me, Stephen, when you posted it, and I was wondering when I looked into it, for some reason the trailer for Halo is recorded on a PS5 Pro, which seems like such a weird thing to do. So I'm kind of curious about that. Go ahead, Stephen.
And I'm sorry, but those skins you get from Master Chief for pre-ordering are the ugliest things I've ever seen.
Oh, I haven't seen those yet. What are they?
If I have to get those and we're playing, I'm going to be the purple spiky Master Chief, because he looks like he comes right out of Ninja Turtles. It's horrible.
What the? Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up. Somehow I missed that.
They look so freaky.
Oh God. Yeah. Well, we only got about a little over a month and a half. Excuse me, for that to come out. So we'll find out. Maybe this will be a Halo we can actually play online without crashing, because we've yet to successfully play Master Chief Collection with the 3 of us. We tried
we
Halo
just
3 on there, and oh
we
my
just
god,
couldn't play 3. The other ones
3
were
was
fine.
terrible. Well, I thought the other ones we were having problems because if there's even so much as a hint of it, Steven's just like, I don't want to mess with this. What in the glowing mother is that?
Yeah, it looks like.
Oh, it just. Oh no, I'm good. That's... The one to the right of it, the green one, looks like it's like a.
It's a little tiny
mobile suit. Yeah, it looks like a mobile suit.
There's one that looks like he's out of Rise, Son of Rome. There's one that looks like he's Blue Beetle. I was like, what are you doing? Change the weapons all you want, but
we all know that Hayabusa armor is the best armor. It's the only armor you need. So just
that was so hard to get. That or the flaming skull when you have to because you have to play a developer to get that one. I don't know if I ever got that. Oh man, yeah, Hayabusa armor would be good to get back again. But yeah, we got Halo coming out, so we'll see about that one. Let's go into our next one. Resonance: A Plague Tale Legacy coming for Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PS5 on August 27th. This one, I didn't have much to say about it, but I swear I thought this was like an Assassin's Creed when they first started it with the way the combat was. And they were like, it's a Plague's Tale. And I was like, really? How does this connect to 2 orphan kids and a lot of rats? Like,
well, I mean, the rats kind of make sense, but like, yeah, it was just the most
at the very end.
Yeah, it was just the most random thing, though, when they were just like, a Plague Tale story. I was just like, whoa, I would never would have guessed this is a Plague Tale universe, but okay.
I've seen games where they just shove a title onto it to be like, oh, look, it's part of the series, play it. This feels like that happened. This is apparently the Star Fox Adventure of Plague Tale.
Apparently it must be a good series. This is what, 3rd or 4th one now?
3rd, I think.
Yeah. The first 2 are fun.
Yeah, I've heard they're fun games, but I've never actually like played them. I've just never given them a chance.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard there's a bunch of ambulances running around me. Sorry. I don't know if you guys could hear that at all, but yeah, I wanted to just point out how randomly weird that was and how I completely mistook what game that was. I was like, what the hell is this? So, all right, next little bit. So Persona 4 Revival was showed off for Series X and S, PC, and PS5 coming February 18th, 2027. So it's another February title. This one apparently does contain all the DLC content, according to Junior, because he had seen some of it and, pointed out certain characters were in there. Because Persona 4 got a remake not too long ago, and Steven, I think you were talking about it. You had ordered it from Limited Run, but it didn't have the DLC. You had to buy that later. So this is another
game. Those were the originals that they just brought to the systems, ported.
Okay.
But they weren't remasters or revivals or anything like that. There was Persona 3 Reload had the issue where it was missing the female protagonist, and they're like, it was too much work for them to put that in there, so they said no.
No idea on that one. Jumping into the next part for this, though, we had the announcement for Persona 6 for Series X and S, PC, and PS5. The date to be announced. And I know we're kind of skipping down the show, but it made no sense. Like, they announced 4 and then waited almost an hour to announce 6. And I'm like, they should have just gone together, guys. But it seems like it's horror themed, which is kind of neat. I'm curious what they're going to do with that.
Deal with the occult and stuff, so it should be I'm hoping it's darker. So
I would like something that's not so focused on like high schools and kids. Like, give me
put them in college.
College would be fine. Like, I would love a weird Japanese take on Scooby-Doo. Like, that would be so fucking hilarious. Chase you look like you just had that image pop in your head.
Don't worry. The next one is Scooby-Doo. There you go.
Okay, very true. All right, let's jump to the next game here. All right, boys, we're going back into this one here soon. State of Decay 3, coming out for Series X and S, PC, and PS5 in 2027, has been confirmed for 4-player co-op.
It still exists.
It still exists. No zombie deers. Apparently that's not happening. That was just a thing for the first trailer, which I'm fine with because that would have been really weird. But what we do have is a lot of different swarms that seem way more aggressive, and the new types of like boomers and spitters and things like that to
Yeah,
fight.
I'm a little hesitant of what they were showing.
How
Is
so?
it because it's going into zombie army territory, and I'm like, stay away, stay in your lane, State of Decay. You know what made you popular? Don't stray from that.
What
I,
I'm curious about is apparently now the town is consistent with your friends. So we like you can go into it and do things even if the others aren't on there, and I'm curious how that's going to work. If that does right, that would be great because that was like we'd have to go and visit each other's settlements and things, and like, okay, can we play my world tonight? You know, give me a hand doing some stuff, and then we'd switch around, which was fine. It was fun, kind of visiting other places. But I think we all would enjoy and work with it more. You know, if we're like, hey, we're gonna play. Oh, I got on there a little bit earlier and I cleared this spot, or I helped build
or Chase
this.
gets bored and he's just like, everybody's dead. You can explore freely now. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I fell asleep while playing and everyone died. Sorry.
Or he just goes in and completes everything. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
At least we got cars.
He is a machine in that game.
Yeah, I would be. I was curious if that's what they meant by that. Like potentially, we could actually have like sort of a co-op settlement where like we all start a settlement together and it's just our settlement, like from the go.
Because like I did for a couple of years. I paid for it and it was fine, but like I did, you know, a custom server for Minecraft, and that was one of my favorite things is it was a consistent world that we could go in together or apart, and everything stayed that we did and you could work on it. I would be 100% down to do that for us with like State of Decay if that was an option. Because I think it would make it more worthwhile for everybody because all of us are kind of putting into the same, you know, the same end game, and we could, you know, do a higher difficulty and do stuff because we're not playing alone all the time and can work on it. We've got a while. We don't have an exact date in 2027. We just know it's sometime next year, but that's more than we've known before. Because I think for a while we were wondering, is this even still coming out? Like, we were wondering if it got canceled. So I'm happy to at least see that. All right, next we have Sea of Thieves Custom Seas finally coming out. The update for that on all the different systems coming June 18th. So next week, by the time you're listening to this, it'll be out in the next day or so. This was the big one that Rachel was pushing for before that she wanted. So we can finally maybe play some Sea of Thieves with her. It's been a while. She wants to. But you can make your own mini games and more, which they had like a sniping game from a boat. There was what was the one? I guess you could disguise yourself as items as you're sneaking around. There was ship combat. So many things
They're
you could
taking
do.
their cues from Roblox and Fortnite. So it's good.
Yeah, I don't feel as awkward doing it in Sea of Thieves as I'm sure some adults should not be in Roblox. So stick with this or Fortnite, guys. You can create cinematics and more. So I'm waiting for someone to have some machinima level hilarity going on with tales of some kind of ridiculous pirate life. And then it's basically an open creation mode for the game. So you can just play it and do whatever you want, which is fun. That's just, I don't want to have to go through and grind. I don't have time for it. I just want to go in and enjoy it. And I think this will benefit us to play Sea of Thieves on occasion instead of having to spend all of our time on it. It's got me more interested in it, at least. Because at this point, if we try, Rachel's so far ahead of us, we could never catch up. So every time we get in the game, she's already got all this advanced stuff. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I think I still have a boat somewhere. I have to find it. So, all right. Next up, we have Metro 2039 coming for Series X and S, PC, and PS5. We don't have a release date or anything for this one, don't think. I think I forgot to add the notes to it. The game looked creepy as hell, though. Do you guys play many of the Metro? I keep wanting to say Metroid. Metro
I
titles.
played the originals. It was actually pretty fun. It was just trying to get used to that currency as your ammo.
That was always an interesting mechanic. Yeah, I can't shoot too many people because I need to buy a weapon to beat those people, but I need the ammo to buy it. So
Yeah, that was the thing that turned me off from it. But then one of my mates at work said that he said that he recommends playing Exodus. He said it's actually really good and it doesn't use that system. And it's actually he said it's a pretty fun game.
Plus, I
So
think now if you get Exodus, they give you 33 with it.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they are bundled.
Yeah, I tried to play 33, struggled with the currency system, and like fighting enemies and stuff, and then I never played 2, the second one, so I need to go back, give that series a go.
Are you looking forward to maybe trying this one out, or do you want to try the past ones first and see where that goes?
Well, I mean, I guess it just depends on. There's probably going to be some parts of the story maybe that you need to know, so I might have to try the first ones out.
Or he can play it day one on Game Pass.
Oh yeah, true.
Fucking Game Pass. All right, let's move on. Bad Magpie for Series X and S PC coming 2027. Shocked this is not coming out on Switch 2, and it feels like it will eventually be there. Like, this should have been a Switch 2 game. You play as a magpie separated from his family as it lost the ability to fly somehow. Even though it feels like it, this is not connected to Untitled Goose Game in any way, but it is the same chaotic vein of a bird doing whatever the fuck it wants and just breaking things. There doesn't seem to be people you interact with. You're just messing with other animals in the environment. But it seems to be a pyromaniac. I absolutely love the fact that there's, the flower looking at it. It scratches a branch against a rock and lights it on fire. And the flower is like, oh, that's neat. And then realizes you're about to set it on fire. And you see it just get so scared.
This is sheer horror.
You just see the magpie hopping through it. Oh, I'm here for this kind of game. It just calls for me because they're always so much fun to mess around with and see what you can do. So yeah, it's.
To look up this trailer, and she was like, as soon as she saw that, because I was like, "This is totally your game," and she was like, "Really?" And then she saw that scene where she starts lighting everything on fire, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this is my kind of game."
Did you play Untitled Goose Game?
I don't know if she has actually. I need to tell her about that.
Because that was very puzzle oriented too, and then if you wanted to mess up her game, you can play co-op now.
That is one of the best. I think someone was trying to mention this as a genre of like chaos birds or something. Or
well, yeah, we'll find out what they've been working on since then.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Next up, we had Wolong 2, Wings of Ember, for Series X and S, PC, PS5, Switch 2, early 2027, which I have not ever played this before. Go ahead, Steven.
So what you don't have to worry about is they did a separate announcement trailer that the first Wolong is coming to Switch 2 as a complete edition. I don't know if it's game key card or not, but it'll include all the expansion packs, all 3 of them. It'll have all the collaboration content that they did with Lies of P, Neo 2, and Naraka Blade Point, and then it'll have a Switch 2 exclusive armor set called the Zhuan Yu armor set. So if you haven't played the first one, you will this September 3rd in Stacktember. So you can get ready for 2 on Switch 2. That's what you should have done on Wii U with Mass Effect, EA. But anyway.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Someone's not salty about this.
He's not wrong. Like, I know it's always a joke with like him and I.
I tried to be a Nintendo fan on Wii U so hard, and I was just like, okay, cool, they're making 3, so are they going to shadow drop 1 and 2? No? Why? So.
Yeah, like they sent that to die because at the same time that game came out, they released the trilogy as a pack for the same fucking cost with 1, 2, and 3. And then we're like, oh, you can pay the same amount and just get 3 on the Wii U, and we won't include the DLC. And I'm like,
look at Wolf Among Us. They knew it, so they were like, we're going to give you the first one as well.
Yeah.
And they said Wolf Among Us 2 is coming out all at once, no episodes.
There is one game that's coming out we'll talk about later that's not doing that, but we think we actually found a legit reason why, so we'll get to it. But the Wolong game, Chase, is that a series you have played? Or am I wrong on that?
I haven't played the DLC, but
okay.
The first game, It's one of the few Soulsborne, because it's a Soulsborne game through and through.
It
It's all
looked it.
about yeah, it's about dodging and parrying. It takes its roots in like it kind of has this dark twist on like kind of Chinese fantasy
Okay.
mythology, and but it's basically it's set in the Three Kingdoms, kind of era,
Mhm.
and it's kind of so it's like a dark twist on that romance of the Three Kingdoms, and so that's what interested me in it because I really like Dynasty Warriors, which is set in the same time. So I was like, actually, I kind of like the look of this game. I like the setting, so I might give this a try. I actually enjoyed it.
Nice.
So it might. I know it's not. It's a Soulsborne, so it's not going to be for everybody. But I actually did find some enjoyment out of this game, so I'm probably going to give 2 a crack.
Nice. You have to let us know how it is. I might try it on the Switch too, just because I'll pick it up if it is a complete cart game. I'll be like, I like getting those type of things, even if it's not one I play all the time because of preservation of the DLC and so forth. And it seems up the alley of what my kids play, so they might enjoy it, and I'll just have it to try it out. But yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to see your thoughts on this one. Now, this game came out of left field, and we need to play this. Like, if I have to buy it for all of us, I will fucking do it. It's called Join Us. Series X and S, PC, and PS5, March 2027. So they've at least avoided September and February. But it's a single or up to 4-player co-op game where you create your own cult and just see where that goes. You can recruit and convert followers, build your compound, teach skills, farm, and then also fight and catch fires and kill people. And just, it looks absolutely insane. And I just want to see what kind of chaos and weirdness we can do with what cult we start. Like, we take chances on a lot of multiplayer games. Some of them are great. Some of them I uninstalled today just to make your face.
Some of them just need to GTFO.
Yeah, it's the one I uninstalled today because I was like, oh God, why is this still here? And I just deleted it. I'm like, we're never going back to this. We have too much goodness. This feels like we should give it a chance. So I'm going to petition now. We need to get this for the 4 of us. Senua can join the cult too. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we'll start a cult. Cereal is not a soup.
I agree. Cereal is not a soup. Hot dog is not a sandwich. So,
correct.
Yes, that is. See, we've already got a mantra.
Yeah, 2 cults ready. Chase hasn't said his part because he's going to defect.
Wait,
The power of this cult that Steven and Jeremy are agreeing on shit.
How many holes are in the straw? Quick.
Right. So the trailer sold me. Like, I'm sure I want to see more about it, but I like the ridiculous idea of it. And I'm like, it's a funny thing to do, I think.
There's going to be so much fucked up content in this game.
How long before someone recreates Waco and tries to do that?
A Waco simulator, it's gonna be like there's gonna be so many like crazy shit. Like,
if this has got a sponsor or DLC from Kool-Aid, it's gonna be so fucked up. The funny thing is, it wasn't even Kool-Aid. It wasn't actually Kool-Aid that they drank.
Yeah, I know.
Which is Kool-Aid just like, why are we catching strays here? Like,
just because it's grape doesn't mean it's Kool-Aid.
Fucking knockoff. They were crazy and cheap.
Yeah. They didn't even want to buy the expensive shit.
Yeah, we're going to die by this, but we don't want actual name brand.
We're going to die by Tang.
I don't think it was Tang. I'm trying to remember which one it was. It was some generic type.
It's probably Dr.
Yeah,
Pepper.
I don't know. This might end up being part of like the Zenspath Christmas this year. I might just pre-order all of us a fucking copy of Join Us. Just be done into the cult. I've talked y'all into a podcast and you've actually stayed, so why not? Maybe I can start a cult. Oh, I can't wait. This is going to be great.
Join Zenspath.
Well, speaking of possible mental issues, next up we had Senua coming for Series X and S, PC, and PS5 in 2027. Ninja Theory lists it as a, quote, standalone story and has been designed as a strong entry point for new players. So if you have not played the previous ones, that's okay. They also stated that this is not titled Hellblade 3 because they, quote, want to signal a bold new step for Senua into the action-adventure genre. Either way, the game looks amazing. They're still sticking with the voice work and facial animation and all the other details, so this is going to be a gorgeous game no matter what.
You know something, Chase? It really helps a title when they kind of get
God
rid
damn it!
Don't
I
do
knew
this.
this was coming. I knew
Don't
it.
start this one.
when they get rid of a certain title. It kind of helps because it says they're going in a new direction without having to piss off any fans. That's pretty cool.
Hey man,
And Ninja Theory,
Actual fans would know where the fuck that story came from, and she's an actual part of the character.
And it's Ninja Theory. That means we're getting the return of. We're getting a spiritual successor to Heavenly Sword. Life is good. I know what game to get now. Of the two female-led warriors.
He can't help it. He has to keep poking at this.
So is this like a? So the only question I haven't actually played Hellblade 1 and 2.
This is a bold new step.
Yeah, we don't know. I don't know if this is any kind of prequel or sequel.
That's the question I was going to ask. Actually,
the first two were a mental journey with some combat, and they were more about like being less action and more art pieces.
The first two you need to play with headphones,
but they weren't bad, and you should definitely only play with headphones because of all the whispering.
Oh, it's amazing! The surround sound headphones too. But they said this one's designed for new players.
That takes on a new level when you do the recommended like setup.
I kind of wonder if this is going to be a continuation and they'll fill you in on the backstory from the first two. But they designed it around people coming in not having played those. So we'll see how that kind of plays out. If you can get a hold of the first two, I think Steven and I both agree you need to play them. They're really good. I still need to pick up the second one and finish that. But the first
one, at this point, you can get them on any system you want. So
the second one, I don't think you can, but it's on pretty much, Xbox, PlayStation, and PC at this point, I believe. But yeah, they're great. The Switch port for the first one was surprisingly well done. Like, yeah, I mean, you've got better things to play it on now, but good on them for that one. So, all right. After that, we had Doom: The Dark Ages Revelations DLC coming July 7th. They had a new spear weapon, introduces not only new fighting abilities, but abilities for movement as well. Like, you could stab into someone and like swing around and things. I'm curious to see how that goes. But hey, if you've got the game and you want DLC, there you go. I want to try it. I do like Doom: The Dark Ages, but we'll see. Spears are fun.
I think Doom is losing its way.
How so? Because I kind of like the fact that all three of them are meant to be different from each other. So if you like one, you can kind of play those without losing the whole thing.
I think I get what Swan's saying, but
I get it. That's what I was asking.
I think the reasoning's good. My reasoning's going to be slightly different than his.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, because we had Doom 2016, we had Doom Eternal, and it was exactly how we always envisioned Doom's next jump would look like. And like Doom 3 did a departure for a little bit because they gave us like, a story, but it didn't have the same characters we were used to.
Mm-hmm.
And now this one's supposed to be, the Descendant and everything, but I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of people don't like it's not as visceral, whether you like it or not, because of the blocking, the parrying. That it's not just about strafing now and jumping around. It's having that extra stuff that people were excited saying, "Cool, the shield's gone. We hated the shield," and then he's like, "No, I made a new one," and everybody's like, "I hope I don't have to block and parry with that again. I hope I can just rip and tear, because that's basically what Doom's like tagline was: rip and tear." And I don't know. I'm in the way like I don't want to keep seeing him without his armor on. He just looks like a really decked out Fred Flintstone. So I was like, all right, okay.
Well, this isn't a Descendant. This is him. This is like the backstory of it. This is where it started. That cycles around to the first 2016. and we've seen his face for a while. Like, it does get kind of weird seeing him like that, but it's kind of funny. But this one, their intent was more of like the open areas like you'd have in some of the old Doom maps with waves of enemies and kind of figuring out the challenge going around, which I know is not the same as everyone wanting a tight corridor shooter. I get that.
There was just like a lot of cutscenes in the trailer, and I was like, "Get this shit out of here."
I mean, they're filling in some of the story and they're kind of working with that. I'd rather them. I've enjoyed what the story has been so far, and they're not like going into long soliloquies and so forth. It's very much this is what's happening that's leading to why they're dealing with the demons and so forth, and kind of him being used as a weapon and trying to get out of that, which leads to him becoming the later one, which I thought was kind of a fun way to play it. But Chase, what were you going to say?
When I saw this trailer, sorry, I'm still stuck on Fred Flintstone for so it was the most random thing possible that could ever came out. Like I just of all
Barney,
the things,
rip and tear, Barney.
exactly. Anyway,
Dabba dabba doom.
Yeah. When he was saying like I feel like Doom's loses weight, I kind of felt like I kind of felt the same way, but I felt it more of like Doom the Dark Ages is losing its way in the sense that I feel like this DLC's like kind of catering to the Doom Eternal, like Doom 2016 people a little bit, because this is like Doom the Dark Ages, their whole big tagline was stand and fight, and it was going to be slower paced, and it wasn't supposed to be about like, because Doom Eternal was like super fast paced. Like you were constantly wanting to move and like be moving like all the time. That's what they kind of tried to emphasize. This one seems like they're kind of trying to do that now. You got the shield back, but then this spear seems to be adding like a whole bunch of like range of movement, and it's wanting you to like grapple and swing and move. And so I'm like, I don't feel like stand and fight's really like the necessarily the tagline.
I don't know if he still blocks with the shield because he turns it into a freaking lawnmower. So.
Well, I mean, you were doing that in the first part of the game, even before that. Like, it had some fun uses.
Chainsaw thing. That's the only thing that I thought was kind of weird. I'm like, I kind of feel like maybe this is just, there's probably some people that maybe like Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, they like the movement more, so then they didn't like Doom the Dark Ages, and so now they're like, oh, well, we'll give you this spear now, so that way it gives you that movement again.
I see where you're coming from on that. I still feel this is separate from those two. They may bring in some touches between them, but a lot of what I've played for Doom the Dark Ages, the stand and fight is kind of like the large fights. You're in an open area and you have to kind of pick and choose where you're going. Who is your main target? You've got to pick out and work your way through, and it's more strategic is how I've always played it. I'm like, I identify, okay, you're my fucking problem. I need to get rid of you. Then I can work on the other ones as I go and use them to get ammo and stuff as I kind of work my way around. And I think this still maintains it. It does add more of the movement. I 100% agree with that, especially the fucking swinging around thing. I'm like, I'm going to have to try that, and then I'll make a determination. It's neat looking, but it could go wrong so fast. Also, he has an unlimited amount of spears. I really thought it would be like a throw the spear and like get it back or do something. He just keeps fucking throwing them. I'm like, okay, he could just shit out spears now.
Yeah,
whatever.
Like I played Doom's Dark Ages. I need to actually go back and finish it, but I've gotten like most of the way through it. Mm-hmm. But I like the game. But yeah, it just seems like, just from what I've played of that, and then watching that trailer, I'm like, this looks like two almost completely different kind of play styles, so to speak.
And I'm not too surprised on that either, because even on past DLCs, they would bring in something different when they did that. Like even on Doom 3, its DLC introduced a whole different type of weapon, and that changed how that gameplay was. And they had different things for 2016 and for Doom Eternal that would kind of mix it up, because they didn't want it to be the same thing every time. It was a little bit of a variant, and that kind of feels like what they're sticking with. I'm so curious to try it, but like I want to see more about it. But who knows? But we can't get Fred Flintstone out of our head.
Where I started being taken out of the Doom mythos is when I was in a mech. So
Oh, that mech has been teased in all the other ones too. It's just
I know, but
now we get to see how it got there.
But I was just like, but this isn't Doom. So
it's like I said, they've been there since 2016's. Like it's just now you get to interact with it more because the systems can handle it. So then we just need a Doom and Titanfall. Seriously though, fucking Fred Flintstone, that kills me. All right, this one I'm definitely wanted to talk with Stephen about to see where we land on it. Crazy Taxi World Tour for Series X and S, PC, PS5, and Switch 2, coming sometime in 2027. Looks to be a new entry as well as a remake, because most of what they showed...
It's the first one.
Okay. Because it only showed San Francisco. Like, that map I know so well from playing it for decades. I mean, fucking Crazy Taxi was a wedding gift. Like, I had a friend who bought me Crazy Taxi and Perfect Dark as a wedding gift. So I've been playing it since I got married. You know, like I said, it showed very detailed but recognizable San Francisco, but they hinted at more maps by a lady showing up and saying your tickets have been bought. And I assume World Tour means they're going to have other ones. Will that be bringing in maps from Crazy Taxi 2 and 3? I don't know. Maybe I'm hoping for new maps and returns of more characters, because they only show you one character so far, which, I mean, it's a reveal trailer. What do you expect? So just from the trailer and the beginning of it, what is your hype on this one? Because I know we were worried before about what Crazy Taxi would turn into. We had fears of it being, you know, an online multiplayer thing.
About that. But
that's what I'm curious about. Like, what have you found?
At first look, I was excited.
Okay. That's a scary term. Let's continue.
So
elaborate, sir.
So to also go on our third point as well,
the AI controversy.
I'll give you the whole rundown. So if you go to the Steam page for the Crazy Taxi World Tour, you find out that there's lore/story that just says, oh, he got his taxi stolen and he's on a tour around the world to get it back. So I was like, so is everybody else not in it? What's going on there? They said there's going to be 5 new maps. So I guess San Francisco is to kind of just get your, kind of like tutorial level, get all your new moves if there is any.
Okay.
And such like that. And I was like, okay. And then you read onward, and there is online multiplayer modes, but it doesn't say whether it's racing or if it's fair racing, like who can get to the fair first or anything like that, which I think would be pretty cool. But
Crazy Taxi has had some fun multiplayer modes, so hopefully some of those will come back.
And it doesn't say that, so we don't know about the new characters, but we do know there's more maps. There are people who, when they watch the footage, they were like, they hope they fix some of the physics systems because it doesn't feel as crazy as Crazy Taxi was.
I can see that.
But what basically put them on the front page was, as Steam mandates, is that if you use AI, you have to disclose it. And the Crazy Taxi page says, hey, we used it in the planning stages of it for the assets and the backgrounds and such, but in the end it was all touched up by humans, and the performers were not touched in any way. So any of the voices, all the voices are normal. The voices are not AI. They've elaborated on that. You can go 2 ways. I still don't know
if this offspring is real, but
you can go 2 ways with the controversy. And one way is I take it as more supportive, because the Expedition 33 got caught with that when they were talking about it, and they said, well, yeah, we did it because of the amount of backgrounds we had, but then we deleted them after we had the foundations and we touched them up. We had teams work on it and touch them up. So eventually they got a pass for the most part and became Game of the Year. So I always took it as, okay, the machine made the cake, but they decorated it, made the final touches, and overall they had nobody's job was taken away. Everybody was needed to give a finished product. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I thought this was more like, with their controversy, because I was like, it's just the background, so maybe it's just the amount of buildings. I don't know if it's the people, but that remains to be seen until people really dive into it without making
Right.
too many assumptions of the disclosure, because the disclosure was very bad, or very vague. Um, but as that one analogy I said, somebody used the same analogy and turned it to if you were against it. And somebody put it as a baker saying, "Try my delicious cake." And instead of AI, let's use the word diarrhea. Is there any diarrhea in it? Well, it was only used in the batter stage. The final cake has no diarrhea. They're like, well, but you used it at some point. Yes. He's like, but I don't want to eat any cake that has ever used diarrhea in its baking process. So that was like their other way of saying, like, well, that's how the simile works, against AI, saying like you used it at one point, that it's just that we should not be championing this. And a lot of people, including even Giant Bomb, are just like, I'm still excited. I still want to play it. I'm in the same boat that, if the end product doesn't contain AI, then I'm fine with that.
I looked into this. I don't like the idea of people that normally do make the concept art and stuff like that potentially being replaced. I think that's a key foundation of making it. And you can have a great building, and if your foundation is messed up, that affects it. On the flip side, we also don't know how much of this was a corporate mandate. It could have been like, oh, you have to use this, or if it was generative AI that was stealing things, or if this was, we have our own model, we fed it our own stuff, and we're using that because, like you said, it's vague. It does not determine one way or the other. Because I have seen some AIs where they are using just their own sources that they've fed it. It's not great, but it's more localized. But that still falls under the same thing. And we're not really going to know about it until a little bit later and we see more of the game. So I still want to play this. I have absolutely loved Crazy Taxi for years. But it's going to have to be kind of a wait and see. Chase, did you have any thoughts on this one, or you just want to play some Crazy Taxi?
Yeah, I definitely want to play some Crazy Taxi, but yeah, I mean, look, like I don't necessarily, I don't want to see people like lose their jobs or anything like that, but I also
Yeah.
think that, I think we're kind of starting to get into a time now where people, rightly or wrongly, they're gonna just have to decide. They're gonna have to kind of just decide what they're comfortable with, like how much they're comfortable with, and then they're gonna have to make a line. And
Mm-hmm.
if the developer crosses that line, then don't buy it. If the developer doesn't cross that line, then buy it. But the problem is it's just, yeah, I just think that unfortunately, um, it's, I just don't think it's worth people getting like vitriolic over all the time.
Yeah,
And
please,
like,
please never attack developers over this, because,
exactly.
like Jeremy said, we don't know if this was a mandate. So it's just like, don't go after them because of this, and don't harass them. It might have not have even been their decision.
Yeah, and we're going to see
Um,
this for at least a good couple of years, because even if it fades out and people don't use it, if they have to admit that it was in there, there was a lot of developers, their corporate parts, mandating they have to use it for some part. Pretty much everything from Microsoft for
Companies
a
are
while
doing
is
the
going to be
same
like
thing,
that.
so it's just like,
Right. So even if it's in there for a little bit and they take it out, they're going to, if they're being honest, going to have to put that on there. And we're going to see this whether it's warranted or not. So
I
it's
mean,
it's a very dangerous line.
I got to use it for work now, but I mean, for me, it's actually like, you know, love it or hate it. For me, it's actually a bit helpful because I work in an inventory role, and it just actually, the AI bot that we use just helps me parse through like tons of data on spreadsheets and stuff, which actually lets me like find the things that I need.
Yeah, and that's an intended use. Like we have to use it for, I don't want to go too much detail in my work right now, but like large amounts of radar data, things like that. Like it's meant to parse through that and help see patterns and so forth that might be too large for people to normally see or take you forever to go through. That's a legit use for it. We're not farming it out to a bunch of places and killing the the environment and draining all the water. It's localized, more functional of what AI is supposed to be used for.
Yeah,
So
and I'll be the first to say if there's still job listings for people who need to hunt and peck, then that's the problem with the business. Because I think something like that, like he says, the amount of data you have to comb through, same with my job. Um, AI is helpful there, internal AI. It's not creating something for me; it's finding something for me. So, and I don't think that's a position that's being taken away from anybody. It's just making my job a little bit easier, so then we can grow.
yeah.
So I'm all for that. But if it's like make me a resume or make me, uh, all my accomplishments for the year or something like that, unless you're pulling from real data, don't lie. Like, pull from my emails or something like that. But don't just because a lot of businesses want to see your AI on the resume because then they'll be like, yeah, keywords.
So before we move on to the next part, then for the AI, I want to ask you guys: do you think Steam or these companies should be a little more forthcoming with detail of what the use was? Because I think part of this argument is it's so vague
This is the first
that
one
you're going
that's
to get
vague
caught no matter what.
because Jurassic World 3, I think, they
Uh-huh.
were like, yeah, we used AI to make the avatar. So people were like, hell no. And they're like, sorry, we backtracked and we hired artists to do the avatar. So they did a 180 there. So it's helpful to be more detailed than anything. And I'm thinking because of how fast the Steam page went up, whoever made that disclosure didn't think it through.
Okay. So as of now, it sounds like we're still wanting to play some Crazy Taxi. We'll
I
just have
still
to
want to
see
play
how
it.
bad it gets.
Oh yeah.
I still want to
I
play it.
still want
I'm
to
a little
play it.
scared because it's got a story mode and it's not talking about any other characters. So I'm like, I need to know where that's going.
Yeah, I need my other characters to come back because that guy was not the one I like to use. So we'll see.
I hope you can still pick up the priest.
You're one hell of a driver.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it looked like fun twists on it, like the pizza thing looks like not only are you getting like a shit ton of pizza, like maybe you have to actually have a challenge of delivering that person with like trying not to drop too much pizza, or like it seemed like there could be twists to the mechanics, which would be fun. But we're gonna have to wait and see. We're not gonna get more of this until probably next year. But I'm more hopeful than I was concerned about to begin with, if that makes sense. Like,
Cautiously optimistic.
right, you've shown something that's not a complete total fucking train wreck.
If they wanted to be really smart, I don't know the logistics of this, but when I was watching the trailer, I was like, you know what would be really cool is if they made brand DLC you'd have to purchase, and a percentage of the proceeds would go towards a specific charity that business wants to donate to.
Oh, I'd buy that.
Because
I'd
then
buy
you
that in
could
a
either
fucking
buy
heartbeat.
KFC, Taco Bell, H&R Block, whatever, just
Fucking
have
HR
them in the
Block.
city, and then you'd be like, I feel good about being a shill because I also help donate to a charity.
Raid Shadow
I would
Legends.
I would pay into something like that if I got to make my own stores and advertisements. Like I would theme the fuck out of a whole place around the podcast to have that in my own game. That would be great, and I would pay for that. That'd be a fun addition. I mean, shit. Modern days, you can customize. Why not? All right, this next one might cost me a lot of money. The Xbox Series X 25th Anniversary Edition. It's a 1 terabyte model. Sadly, my current one is a 2 terabyte. So if I get this, it's going to end up in my bedroom. Oh no. We have no release date or price yet, but it's freaking translucent green. I'm all right. You've already got me on that.
Hidden surprises too.
Yeah, I love translucent consoles. Like electronics and see-through stuff is some of my favorite. And the fact that it's green, which is my favorite color. The LED in the button is no longer white. It is actually green like the original system, which is a fun little touch. You're just changing out an LED, but I appreciate it. The controller matches it, though. So it's also translucent and thankfully will be available to purchase by itself. So if I can't get a hold of the console, I will at least get the controller. Because I got the 20th anniversary, which is like a smoke black, and I really like that one. So this will fit right there with it. and I'll be
Yeah,
using
I
that.
need to get it just to put it next to the PlayStation anniversary one.
Yeah, I never got the PlayStation ones, but I know some people were complaining about this one. Like, I love how they're trying to tear it down. They're like, "Oh, it's the back of it is black," and I'm like, "Are you looking at the back of it? I don't give a shit. You can see inside of it. It's neat. You know, like ribbon cables moving in weird spots, and
You see how much solder they use?
Oh God, don't you dare. I don't know. I would like to get a hold of one of these, but I know it's going to be fucking expensive and hard to get. But I am tempted. They did what I wanted, so I are you guys even considering it, or you just think it's neat, or are you just sticking to the controller? Maybe.
It's all going to come down to that price.
Yeah, I mean, because what is a Series X going for right now? Like just for the terabyte model, it's like $700, isn't it? Like it's up there.
You have to have them in stores first.
Touche. I'm kind of curious. Somebody look that up. Yeah.
Probably for me, it's just the controller. To be fair,
for you, it's already god expensive.
Yeah. To be fair, though, I've had some. Me and special edition consoles, we have a really bad history together. So I'm.
Oh, you're gonna have to elaborate on that. I need details, my friend.
Oh, it's actually part of the reason why. No, I need to save this story for another time because this is actually like I could go into like this big ass rant about like kind of how I got out of collecting and other stuff.
Okay.
So
wow.
I need to save this for another.
So I will hold you to that, but I need this at least answered now because I don't want to leave it on this kind of cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Is it an issue with collecting because you bought too many of them, or did you buy them and they were shitty when you got them?
No, it's more about the fact of like not being able to get a hold of them because of
Yep, I
bullshit.
know that. Mm-hmm. All right, I know where that's going.
Lots and lots of bullshit reasons.
Yeah, because for me, the collector's edition that always comes down to it if it releases is the one time we got a Metroid. I went out of my way to get that damn thing, which that 3DS is still amazing. And all of the Zelda editions. Because infamously, it's the only fucking reason I own a Switch Lite.
Yeah.
It's because they made that Zelda edition and I was like, you son of a bitch, here's the cash. Give me the freaking console.
And I was like, how do we get Jeremy to buy a Switch Lite? Make a Zelda edition. All right, sweet.
Yeah, I looked at it and was like, well, that's pretty. Back in the box. Go on the shelf. But they did it. Sons of bitches got me.
You opened yours?
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to look at it. I'm sure I might eventually use it, but I don't know. I apparently need to charge it every 6 months. But yeah, we'll wait and find out about this. This is going to be probably like $800, which is way too much to pay for a system.
Maybe they'll just be like 11/15/2001 it came out. So to celebrate,
that'll be the price, $11,000.
That's $1,115. And if you want one, and it'll be only 2,001 units made.
Imagine now, like if they came out with a new Dreamcast, like it's still $9,999. Like, how can you do that? Oh, it's $9,999. Like, that's
and we made 9 of them.
Right, that's the discount cost. Good luck. Oh, Scalper's already got them. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, controller may be the only thing I even have a chance of getting, but we'll see. Because I don't want to sell my 2 terabyte model because I absolutely love it and I am spoiled by having that much storage on that Xbox.
Just remember the best place to usually, I don't know how it is in New Zealand, but the best place when these things come up for pre-order is usually Best Buy because they have a anti-scalper bot system.
And I have the credit card with them, which I use for large electronics purchases, so I could grab it that way, have it done, and just pay it off.
Then it puts you in line. Mm-hmm. It makes you log in a certain way to make sure that you have this many minutes to check out. So it's like much better than just refresh, and it's gone.
That's probably going to be how I get it if I do it. But it's going to come down to that price because I know I'm going to be, regardless, it is a ridiculous purchase. This will become the one in my bedroom because I have a Series S in there right now. So this will replace that. The Series S will probably go to Jennifer for her to use in her room for a streaming box and playing a couple games. But I can't replace my Galaxy Edition because at 2 terabytes, I can't downgrade. I'm not giving up a terabyte of storage. Not in this economy. It's too fucking expensive.
True.
It'll probably cost me more to get another 2 terabyte card and make it fit. Ugh, no. All right. Next game we had was Magicians: The Devil's Deal, coming for Series X and S, PC, PS5 in 2027. I was really intrigued by this game. Like, I like the idea behind it, but a group has made a deal with the devil that requires a sacrifice. So they choose the stage magician named Jacob Monturo to live basically in torment. The devil made a deal with Jacob that if he could escape their hordes, he could escape and take what they have. And basically this looks like a magic-based BioShock with much more colorful design.
Or Dishonored.
Or just, okay, Dishonored. Just the way that the hand movements were, it felt like BioShock to me. It's not the only one we're going to have today, which is kind of funny. But I like the art style and I like the idea behind it. Because like the devil is like, hey, I'm giving you a chance probably to screw over the other 5, but I'm going to let you be my weapon of destruction as you go through it. And the clips of what they showed look like this is going to be possibly a pretty actionful, just fun game, I think. So it's got me on that idea alone. What do you guys think? Steven? Were you interested in it?
I'd buy that for $10.
What about you, Chase? You seem like you were kind of agreeing as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting like art style, interesting kind of idea. I'll give it a go. I don't know if I'll buy it like day one, but I'll definitely at some point I think I might give it a go.
Okay. I like how
7 out of 10.
I've got some favorite games that are 7s out of 10. Like they don't have to be perfect to be fun to me.
G-Man Lives just did a video on the 7 out of 10 era. Said how great it was.
Who did?
G-Man Lives. He's an Australian YouTuber. He's pretty funny.
Yeah, he just did a video of what the best year of gaming was, too.
Ooh.
Oh, we're still having that debate between us.
He said it was 1998.
And he would not agree with us. Okay. Because that was not the year I was aiming for. We're still working on our 10 greatest games of all time each for the end of the year show. So
all time.
Yep. And I'm I think about halfway through my list.
If Chase doesn't have even one Total War, we'll be surprised.
I'll be shocked. Like, I'll be honestly shocked.
We'll be BioShocked.
Yeah. Damn it. All right, moving on. So, Valor Mortis for Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PS5 coming September 24th in the middle of an actual bloodbath, even though this looks like it's also taking place in the middle of a bloodbath. And I know I kind of used this description on the last one, but it looks like Doom meets BioShock to me, but you're in the 19th century France during the wars.
And you're playing, it looks like you're playing Napoleon.
I don't think you play as Napoleon. I think you're dealing with him.
He's either the final boss or you are him. It's one or the other.
They
made sure to tell
the
you
actor, but I did not.
A famous actor was playing him, so they made sure to tell you that.
Yeah, but he was playing Napoleon, and I looked it up, and I don't know any of his films, so I don't know who the guy is. I'm sorry. I didn't recognize him. I'm sure some country knows who he is. Good for them. I need to see more on this. Okay. Yeah, I need to see more on this one. It looks weird. Like I did not quite know what was going on.
Yeah, I think you're going to be disappointed.
Probably. I do like at the very end their poster art. Whoever came up with that idea, the design of Napoleon and the statues getting shot apart like his head's being shot, and it looks like blood, but it's like it just looks really neat. But I can get that picture for free. I don't have to actually buy the game to get it.
Yeah, I think what you're going to end up finding if we see more gameplays, I think this is a Soulsborne type game through and through.
From the first person stuff? Because it played in first person, which is part of what makes me think BioShock with the way... But there was like sword and shield and stuff too, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious.
And I think with Doom, it felt kind of like Dark Ages because you were using the shield and the pairing of the swords and so forth. So I don't know. Let's go on to one that I am really happy about, though. Castlevania Belmont's Curse for Series X and S, PC, and PS5 coming October 15th. This is another title I'm shocked we did not get a Switch 2 announcement. It feels like this should be a Switch 2 game. Go ahead, Steven.
Switch version is coming this year, but pre-order information and release date will be announced later, but it is coming this year. Switch 1.
Well, at least it'll be on cart, I guess.
But that's why it wasn't part of the trailer, because they wanted to put a release date down, and Switch will not be part of that release date.
Okay.
It'll still be this year, but
I'm intrigued. I love how this looks. It's a beautiful 2.5D Metroidvania where you play as Rose Belmont, daughter of Trevor Belmont and Sifa Belnades. I don't know if that's anywhere near correct. I'm sorry.
I think Sypha is correct.
Yeah, it takes place over 2 decades after Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse, which was back in 1989 on the NES, and Castlevania Curse of Darkness, which was a PS2 and Xbox title back in 2005. So this is going to be pretty fast-paced, a lot of different abilities you can use. It just looks fun. Like, it's kind of taking after more Symphony of the Night for exploration.
And Dead Cells.
And Dead Cells for the combat, for sure.
Because it's the same developer, so you gotta...
Nice.
So you gotta like how they did it, because they did great with their Castlevania.
Yeah, they did. That's still one of my favorite parts of Dead Cells. So I'm going to be getting this regardless. I'd like to have it as a portable system, but I'm probably going to end up picking it up for Xbox. Kind of go from there. Steven, I'm pretty sure you're going to be getting this because you like Castlevania a lot too.
Yeah, I'll be getting it day one on Switch for sure.
Nice.
Because all my other Castlevania games, my collections and stuff are all on Switch, so I'm just going to keep the family together.
I'm going to get it on Switch, but I kind of want to get it on Xbox because it looks like this will just be one of those really fast, like beautifully done games that I want the full resolution one. And if it's not Switch 2,
be an upgrade path, so who knows?
It's not going to be what?
I almost feel like they're also like delaying it to later because they're like they're suddenly say there's an upgrade path, kind of like what happened with Disney Afternoon Collection and stuff.
That's true, but then that also got its own Switch 2 copy, so
yeah,
we'll see. Chase, you have any interest in this one? I don't know your past with Castlevania or not.
Hit or miss, but I haven't played all of them. But I'm debating on this one because I might actually double dip on this one. I might do like get a PS5 copy and then get it for Switch down the line.
Okay.
I know if you get the deluxe editions, you get the costumes for the Alucard and Sypha to look like them.
Nice. All right, we had Vivarium next, which was for Series X and S and PC coming in 2027. This one I just wanted to mention because it's a 1980s anime-style adventure game of a girl exploring a town, an area with human and animal humans, or animal people, that seems to take place in a jar, like in a little area. I think kind of like the bottle city of Kandor from Superman stories. And I don't know where that's going, but it looks very intriguing. I like the animation. Very well, like really nice hand-drawn design. So, I don't know. That kind of piques my interest. Next, we had Spyro: A Realm Reborn for Series X and S, PC, PS5, and Switch 2, coming spring 2027. Toys for Bob returns, making this new Spyro title. Given the history since Skylanders and the success with Spyro Reignited trilogy, they were given basically the keys to make this new one and the green light from Xbox. So, get to see what they do with it, which looks like it'll be kind of a fun adventure.
Yeah, Toys for Bob, if that footage is basically telling me that you got some Panzer Dragoon in my Spyro, I am there day one.
That's an intriguing idea. I didn't think about that.
That's what it looked like. And I was just like,
all right.
If they're borrowing from another famous Dragoon, then...
Chase, you a Spyro guy at all?
Yeah, I played it back in the day, PS1.
I didn't really play it much until a little bit later, but because I was always the Nintendo guy, I didn't have a PlayStation at the time, so I'll have to try it out.
The original and the voice actor is reprising his role. So.
Nice. All right. Now, this is going to be the second of the console exclusives that Microsoft announced. Clockwork Revolution, coming for Series X and S and PC in 2027. We had seen a previous trailer about this that even then I was kind of interested in the idea behind it. I'm liking more of what I'm seeing, and I'm probably going to be playing this one. Play as a team of 5 crooks that are trying to pull a heist that goes horribly wrong, but are given the opportunity for time travel back about 25 years by a small fairy-like robot, is the best I could describe it, where you can change things, which changes the future in different ways. So you know, depending on what you change, you can either change businesses or what characters you're playing against or what the future is. And I don't know how detailed that's going to be, because that's going to be kind of the intriguing part, because the more you add for what you can change, the more complicated the game can get, which explains why they've been taking their time to develop this. The environment seems to have options for emergent gameplay. The example they have is they shoot a pipe, oil starts spraying out, and then they shot another spot, which ignited the oil and caught the enemy on fire, which was kind of neat. If they can pull that off as an option for more of the game and let you do stuff, almost like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, that was really good about using those systems, that would be great to be able to play. I want to play it. What are you guys thinking? Are you interested in this one at all? The trailer still not make up?
Especially with the humor, this is more like a nice, I don't know, companion piece to Fable, where if you don't want to play something involved, you can just go over to this. That so far, other than another game that we talked about last week, that's more pixel based, this has another good use of butterfly effects. So
very true. Chase, what about you? Does this trailer convince you at all about this game? I know we've talked about it before, but you still need to see more.
No, I mean, I'll probably give this one a chance. Like, I mean, I've still got my Game Pass, so I'll probably just, at the very least, I could try it on that, see if I like it. I'll give it a
Game
chance.
Pass financially makes sense for you.
Yes.
As expensive as you've explained things are. Because I never can justify Game Pass for me, but as soon as I heard how much shit costs for you, I was like, oh no, I get it now. Like,
it would almost be
dear
irresponsible to not have it.
Right? How do you pay for shit?
Yeah.
All right. And to finish up, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, they showed off the DMZ mode for Series X and S, PC, PS5, Switch 2.
I'll have a drink.
Coming October 23rd. Yeah, you should have a drink, man. All I'm going to say is the mode looks fun, but why do they keep ending their shows with Call of Duty? Like, nobody seems to like it. Like, put it somewhere else in the show, and like, I think it would have been better to end with like Clockwork Revolution and have that be your surprise, and you know that's your other exclusive, and then go into your exclusive of Gears of War.
That wasn't the worst part of that trailer. The worst part of the trailer is who did they get to do the gameplay? Who was just like, I'm not going to hit any enemies. I'm going to be horrible. Nintendo does that because they don't want to show you the gore, but the guy in Call of Duty did it because he sucks.
Or he just wanted to like show you that it's not fake. I don't know.
He just sprayed everywhere, and then he's like, "Fuck." I was like, "Okay."
This is another great example of we're gonna fake gamer chat.
Yeah, that was. I don't understand why they do that.
I don't think anyone's done it as bad as Ubisoft in some of their previous examples, but this is not.
I was like, if you want to be realistic, he's going to use iron sights the best he can, and he's going to try to pinpoint the enemy. He's not going to blind fire like a moron in a giant open mall.
Yeah, if he's got a blind fire, it should be some kid just going, shit, fuck.
Yeah, like at no point in that entire trailer did I hear any your mom jokes or anything, so they did not do any, they did not imitate gamer chat at all.
I didn't hear someone playing like rap music way too loud in the background or heavy metal music way too loud and you can't understand them. Yeah. Or someone yelling at their mom or...
But I will continue the tradition of making sure I get this on a Nintendo system as well, so I have every Call of Duty that's ever been on a Nintendo system.
I've got most of them. Because like I already had the Wii U ones. I think I have all the ones on DS. They never came on 3DS, I don't believe.
Yeah, I just got the Wii ones and the Wii U ones.
Yeah, the Wii ones, those
And
are actually like pretty legit for the
I think the
controls.
only
Like they
one
didn't
that
look great, but
didn't,
they played great.
I think the only one that didn't get at the time because they didn't have all of them together, or I didn't get all of them on GameCube because I think they only released one of them on GameCube. I think it was this big red one,
Yeah,
and that was it.
I thought they had a double pack you could get, but I'll have to look and see.
Yeah.
I mean, DMZ looks fun. That's basically, the. How did you describe it to me, Chase?
I think it's PvE.
Battle Royale. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
it's like
it's
the
their
battle
third
royale where it's
mode
like a big open map, but it's gonna be PvE maybe.
because it's like campaign multiplayer DMZ. It's the third mode.
Yeah,
Because I thought DMZ is not their free to play thing. It's
that's Warzone.
Warzone. Thank you. I haven't played that much Call of Duty other than Black Ops 6 because I wanted to play zombies with you guys.
Yeah, I'll probably end up getting this just because I want to continue the Modern Warfare story, but I'll wait till it either goes on sale or it comes to Game Pass, just so that way I can play the
How about
actual
Black Ops
campaign.
7 for $15?
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah. I didn't even bother with that one. I was like, it looks terrible.
Now it's on sale for $35, and I was like,
Black Ops 7 was terrible. That campaign was
I had more entertainment listening to you two describe what happened. Like, that was great. I wish I could have recorded that and put that up as a segment because y'all are just, this fucking happened and this one.
Black Ops 7.
yeah. The moment I started dropping giant like machetes on people, I'm like, yeah, this. I don't know how this is Call of Duty at all in the slightest, but okay.
Oh man. All right, so let's wrap up the Xbox showcase with our thoughts and letter grade. So, Steven, start us off.
I'm gonna put it. They went head to head pretty well against the state of play by showing what they had, their strengths, by saying that they're back with their exclusives. Their exclusives are warranted because those are, even though one's a new IP, it's a really good looking new IP in terms of its gameplay. All being said, though, I'll probably give it a B.
Okay, that's fair. Chase, what about you?
I mean, I agree with everything Swan said. As far as like, I think they did a pretty good showing. They went up against the state of play really well. I really like some of the games that they showed. Obviously, like I got a ton of Gears of War, so I was happy in that regard. If I was gonna give them a B, it would definitely be a B plus, but I'm actually leaning more towards like the A minus A. Actually,
Okay.
I think to be fair, I think all the showings that we really had, Summer Games Fest, State of Play, like this has just been a really good like time for showcases. So
Yeah,
I'm
we still got
leaning,
one more to go through.
yeah, so I'm leaning more towards like the A minus A range for me.
Okay. So for me, I went in with this with kind of mixed expectations with how Microsoft has been trying to sort their stuff out for a while. Feels like for the past couple of years, they haven't had a solid like ground to stand on. They keep shifting, with what they're saying. And this, I thought, was a really good presentation of the fact that they had games to show. They presented them really well. They explained a lot more stuff. Gears, I was already wanting to play it, but I'm actually really excited to get this one now. Like day and date, I'll take the day off. I don't care. I'm going to give this an A because I think this did, like Fable, I was already excited for, and they managed to make it even more exciting for me for what I want to play. Like Haley Atwell being a villain that was a hero, and then also bringing back, Jack was kind of surprising. Clockwork Revolution, I'm excited and really wanted to play. They just had a bunch of different titles that intrigued me. Even if I'm not getting all of them on Xbox, I want to play a majority of these games. Even the lighter ones, I'm like, I at least want to check it out. It's kind of an interesting idea. And I like the fact that it was not stuck to their same thing, which all of them have done a lot better job on. Because Xbox used to be like, oh, it's a bunch of shooters, and PlayStation used to be a bunch of like pretty much just The Last of Us.
RPG. Yeah, RPG.
Yeah, and RPGs. And we're seeing more of a variety on all the systems, and that's good. I think that's a healthy sign, at least for part of the industry, or at least for gaming, even though we're still getting a shit ton of layoffs and stuff, which are probably still going to happen. And that's just something we can't really change right now. But I'm going to give the actual showcase an A. I think it earned that. All right, so let's jump into the last and longest waited for showcase. All right, so the Nintendo Direct, June 2026, and they had the Treehouse Live, but we're mostly covering the Direct itself. 9 months we waited for this thing, and we're gonna see what we got. So starting off, first one we had was Rhythm Heaven Groove, Switch 1 coming July 2nd. Over 80 new games, which look great. There's new modes, including an RPG based on rhythms for attacks and healing, among other types of game you can unlock as well. So as you play, there's other little mini games that are rhythm based that I'm curious to see where it goes. Then there's over 30 local 2 to 4 player games included. It's going to be kind of tricky to get people to join me on this one to play it, but I at least like the fact that they're doing it. Steven, I'm sure you and Chris are going to play this. You'll have to let me know how it is. Hoping I convince my kids to play with me on this one. They're not the most into rhythm games. Chase, is this something you and Shanoa would probably try, or just nah?
I don't know if it's for me. If Shanoa wants to play it, we'll play it. I don't know if it's for me.
You're not going to play it.
Yeah, more than likely not. Shanoa would be the driver on this.
How many Rhythm Heaven games have you played? Okay.
I've played a few of them.
I've played rhythm games before. Like I've played, but
Rhythm Heaven.
No.
Yeah, Rhythm Heaven is definitely a unique one.
Yeah, so you're done.
That makes sense, but it's so fucking dismissive. Good God. So, yeah, we'll see. All right, Onimusha, Way of the Sword for Series X and S, PC, PS5, and now Switch 2 coming September 25th. The RE engine is doing the Lord's work because, good God, this looked really good on Switch 2 hardware.
Is the most used and abused thing on this planet. Capcom is, when you hear people say, I'm going to ride this car till the wheels fall off, Capcom is driving this car till, all that's left is, the steering wheel, them sitting on the road.
This is like the monkey's paw with them. They're like, Capcom, we want your games on Switch 2. And it's like, all right, RE engine, you get your wish, but everything's a fucking key card. Damn it, I can't be mad. They've been amazing. Every one of them I've played has just been phenomenal. And this looks like it's going to be another one. It's smooth. It's fast. I'm kind of tempted to play it on here. But I love when they add pointless extras, because for some fucking reason, motion control is an option in this game.
Well, you saw how he slashes, so it's got to be.
And I was like, that's such a throwback to some of the old... Because, you remember, what was it, Street Fighter 4, when they had it on the 3DS, which was a great port of it. I really liked that one. But they added in the first-person 3D mode you could play, ridiculous shit like that.
Reminds me of Red Steel. So.
That's true. This has got to be better than Red Steel.
No, it will be, but the cutting motion reminds me of Red Steel, or even better, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. The way you could cut certain ways.
Yeah. I will say Red Steel 2 was actually a fun game. That needed to be redone on a newer system because it had a great art style, but it just didn't have the power to do it well.
Yeah, but it's Ubisoft, so it's dead forever.
Yeah. So, as I said before, keycard confirmed. But...
Unless we get Red Steel retold.
Oh, there you go. All right. Dragon's Dogma 2, Dark Arisen, going for Series X and S, PC, PS5, and Switch 2 on October 9th. It's an enhanced edition of the 2024 game with new content added. Couldn't confirm if this one's on cart or not. But I've never really...
So you know where it's going to be.
That's true. Yeah,
but all the footage they showed was new to everybody because this hadn't been announced for any of the other systems either. The expansion content. So
I saw they announced later that it was coming day and date for the other consoles. So if you already have the game, you can update, which is cool.
Yeah, it's just Switch 2 is just getting all of it.
So yeah. This one surprised me. Stellar Blade for Switch 2 in 2026. This one, I think it's cool that it's coming out for Switch 2. This is the one that I think keeping that frame rate consistent is most important, because apparently this game is very heavy on timing and dodging and stuff, even more than like a lot of Soulsborne. Have you guys played Stellar Blade? I haven't messed with it personally. Okay. How would you feel like timeline wise, or not timeline, but timing wise, that this game kind of hinges on that?
So you can also pick performance and resolution mode in the PS5 version.
Okay.
And I think mainly for the gooning, I just went with the resolution mode. Jesus. So I didn't go for like solid 60.
He's truly an ass man.
There's literally just a button for her to just lean over the pool table.
Oh my god! I
forgot about that. But you know, service the game.
No,
but this is our Bayonetta until somebody, Kamiya's new company, decides to do a Bayonetta after he does Okami. Who knows? But this is a good filler, and it's a great title. So I'll definitely support it. I think it's going to be hard to get, so I'm probably going to get it day one.
Okay.
If there's a physical. There better be a physical, or I'm going to kill somebody.
Jesus.
Damn. This escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Not an actual threat. No one dies during my threats. Okay.
Wow. That's still... He's not wrong. That escalated very quickly. All right, Orbitals coming. It's Switch 2 exclusive, coming September 3rd. This one we were already excited about, but they've added game share support to it, which is awesome. I've already got my physical copy pre-ordered because it is all on cart, which is a great little surprise. This game still just looks absolutely amazing to me, and I cannot wait to play this.
Did you get it through Walmart or Amazon?
No, I got it through GameStop.
Oh, okay, because Walmart is doing this new thing where they just charge you the digital price, and Amazon matches it. So I pre-ordered mine for $40.
I've had too many horror stories of friends that have bought games through Walmart, and they just didn't show up, or they got lost, or they were like weeks late. And it's enough people I actually know that I'm like, I don't trust them to do that yet. Like, if I find it in a store and I get a discount, great. But I don't trust their online for their ordering. I would rather do like Best Buy or...
You gave me this a week early, so...
You mother... Nice.
So I was like, I got the movie a week early.
Okay. Just breaking street date. I'm okay with that. I'm still waiting on my copy of that one. I'm hoping to get it.
I was just like, it comes out next week. I got mine right now. I thought it came out this week.
So, Chase, are you guys going to be getting this one? Because this seems like good for us to play, but also you and Shinoa, this seems like it'd be a lot of fun.
None of us will be playing with Chase because he's going to be playing with Shinoa day 0. So let's just be honest.
That's fine. Steven, are you going to play with me at least? Because I need someone to play
with.
At
least with 2 different people. Cause I'm going to be playing it with one of my friends who wants to play it because he's a big fan of that old style anime, and I already said I'd play with you guys.
Okay.
I'll play it as many times as I have to. Yes.
Yeah. No, I'll definitely play it once with Shinoa, but then I'm down to play with, because I'll at least want to play it maybe one other time to play the other character.
That's true.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it looks so good. Like, I am amazed at how clean that animation is and how much it does look like from that era. Like, I had flashbacks as a kid seeing it. Like,
no, they did really
old
well.
Anime.
They did really, really well. I'm looking forward to this.
Yep. All right, next up we have Rayman Legends Retold coming October 1st. It's a new version of Kung Foot is going to be in there, playable via game share locally or online. It is a key card, sadly, but if you get this version, I think it also includes the older Rayman Legends in there as well. So you kind of get a 2-for-1. So if you get it digitally, it'd be kind of fun. But Rayman's just
you're going to get the Smash Brothers Kung Foot.
Right. I mean, the Rayman Legend games are actually a lot of fun, especially the music levels. I've always really enjoyed those.
Yeah, they showed off the exclusive MC Hammer song level.
That was so off the cuff. I was like, wait, was that? I had to rewind it. I was like, I'm not hearing what I think I'm hearing. Nope, I am. All right. Black Betty is still my favorite one from those. That's just so well done. Wrong sound effect. I hit to the left.
Jinkies.
There we go. Yeah, we're just going to have that in there. Big Walk coming out August 4th. Crossplay is confirmed. I've been wanting to play this one. It looks fun.
This
it's
is
just exploration.
Creators of Untitled Goose Game. This is House.
Okay, good.
This is what they've been working on. That's why some of that stuff looked like Saw, where they had to like communicate through a window. And then I was just like, I'm going to get everybody not to play with me because I'm going to take everybody's binoculars and kick them into the ocean.
Kick them into the ocean. As soon as I saw that part where you could like steal an item from somebody and just kick it, I was like, oh no.
I was like, this is going to be like Super Battle Golf. I'm going to make everybody not play.
Oh, God.
I actually
we're going to hate you
like that
for
game.
this.
All right.
Yeah.
We had battles.
I love the throwback. It feels like a throwback to, what was that? Night of the Living Dead or Day of the Dead, or yeah, it was Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, the Dawn of the Dead remake where you've got the guy with the gun shop, who's holding up the big writing sign. It just every time I see someone do that and like try and say a message, it reminds me of that, and I'm like, oh, you're gonna die. So it seems like I guess we're getting this one, or at least Steven and I are. But it's crossplay, so whatever we get it on.
I'll see how fast everybody else doesn't want to play with me.
You know, you could just not be a dick about it and we actually enjoy it.
It's part of the game. If you're by a cliff looking out at binoculars, you are asking for it.
Just because you could go out and technically murder someone because it's part of life doesn't mean you fucking should. Right? Don't throw a few times is funny.
That one has a lot more repercussions than kicking a binocular, though.
Hey, man, if Snowboy doesn't get a physical, he already
right?
said.
You're already threatening people. Like, on occasion is fine. Just don't do it consistently. That's what makes us not want to play games.
No, I won't do it consistently, but you better know the very first person who says, I got binoculars, you are being targeted hard. You better run. You better hide. This is going to become a hide-and-seek game now. This is going to become Dead by Daylight, because as soon as I see you, goodbye, binoculars.
I'm okay with that challenge. Just don't do it every time. That's all I ask. Just be reasonable. All right, Pokopia got a free underwater update coming August 2026, as well as the Pokopia expansion pass, which is available now. I didn't look at the price. I think it was like $35. But it adds the first area, which will be Bubbly Basin, where you can now live and build underwater, along with new Pokemon that will be available. This will include part 2, or the 2 further expansions in the future in one purchase. Part 2 is additional new features coming late 2026. And part 3 is an additional new town coming in 2027.
And
so,
you do not get these right away. You have to do up to a certain part in the game to unlock this. It tells you in very small print, really quick on the bottom of the screen.
I think this gives you, because like everybody else doesn't get the underwater update until August. But I think you can get to the underwater area now if you buy the DLC. I mean, once you play up to that point, like if you're already up to that.
Yeah, it said on the bottom, you have to do this request, and then you'll get the underwater.
Yeah, so it's kind of neat. I guess you get an early access to that, but they're letting everybody have a version of it later, which is kind of nice. Cerebi was also hinted at and directly shown. Like, you see him in the water, but apparently some like Pokemon YouTuber was like talking about that, and people were giving him shit, going like, you're spoiling it. And he's like, it was literally shown. Like, we're all watching the same thing. So thought that was kind of funny. Like, people just freak out over the dumbest shit. It's like, hey, they announced this game. You can't talk about that. We're all watching it and you spoiled it. We're all, what? I don't know. Chase, I'm going to let you talk about this next one because I know you're about to go nuts. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave for Switch 2 coming September 17th. This, once again, you finally got a Switch 2 and everything you've wanted has been coming out. Fucking Donkey Kong 64, and now you're getting this. This is what you needed. We just needed you to get your damn Switch 2 early.
I know, right? I'm eating good.
The story revolves around the heroic games held by the Dagdan Empire, where the champion is granted one wish. 4 main heroes to the story to choose from. Each one has their own special fighting technique as well. You've got Kai, which is a kind-hearted boy from Riberia Village, trying to save his imprisoned father. Dietrich, the elegant battle-ready swordsman, hunting for a stronger foe. Theodora, the queen of the Ceramus kingdom, seeking to fulfill the long-held dream of her homeland. I love how some of these descriptions are so fucking big. And Lita, musician out for revenge. So that's just pretty clear cut. In between different rounds of the games, you can train, build up relationships, and recruit new teammates, or leave the city to gain experience. And I had kind of a theory on this one, but given the trailer, could you win the game sooner rather than later and then have to deal with the aftermath of each character's wish? Because they've had Fire Emblems before where you would make a choice and that would set you on the path for how the rest of the game went. Hopefully they don't make you fucking buy DLC this time to get the other ones. But it almost seemed like that could be the case. But what were your thoughts on this one, Chase? Like, talk to us about some Fire Emblem.
I mean, I was really excited for it. I think the game looks absolutely gorgeous. The art style looks freaking amazing. I just love. I mean, I've always loved Fire Emblem ever since I started playing it. In Awakening, I was able to, thanks to Swan's help, was able to get the Fates special edition where both the campaigns were on one cart.
I have that as well. I think it's my second most expensive game now.
Yeah. Because I really enjoyed Fates. I thought that, like, I really enjoyed Awakening. I thought Fates was a step up in the right direction. Three Houses is really good. I still actually have to go back and finish that campaign. But overall, never had a bad one. I think the story looks interesting in this one, and I think that the gameplay looks like Fire Emblem to me, so I'm happy in that regard.
Steven, you got any thoughts on it?
Just like Nintendo not mentioning Star Fox Assault, Chase did not mention Fire Emblem Engage.
I've played it. Like, I've played it. It's fun.
It happened.
That one was hard to get to you.
Yeah. That was also
That was the first time I learned of your shipping rates, and I was just like, what?
Dear God.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Swan's been a bit of a legend with Fire Emblem Collector's Editions for me, but thankfully I was able to secure one over here.
Yeah, because I had 2 copies pre-ordered just in case, and he's just, because I was like, I don't know how New Zealand is, and then he's like, the Nintendo store opened it up for me. I was like, okay, you're definitely going to get it from them. You're not going to have any cancellations. You're not going to have this, I'm going to charge you every week, and if it doesn't go through, we'll cancel it type stuff. So you should be all right.
I was able to get it through Nintendo of Australia, so
nice.
It's good, because I always usually try to get the collector's editions for Fire Emblems. That's one of the few series that I actually go out of my way to get the collector's editions for.
Same. I'm really excited. I've always loved the art style, how it's now just found its footing, and it's more like the mobile games artwork, where I was just like, why can't this be in the games more, and stuff like that.
Well, there you go.
Pick a broad and lay.
Good Lord.
Good old Frederick.
Or pick a target and pray. And don't forget Donal. So.
Oh yeah.
He's the legend. If I ever see him again. But yeah, I'm definitely getting this game. I already pre-ordered it, the special edition, the Don or Dagden edition. But much like Yakuza, I am really, really, really behind. So it's unfortunately going to go in my backlog, but I hope to get to it.
So I've actually played a lot of Fire Emblems, surprisingly enough. I've enjoyed them for years, and I got like a lot of the collector's editions and so forth. Junior was the one that really got into this series. So I've helped him get, like, we have every single Fire Emblem that's been made in the US. The last one we got, the most expensive one we had to get was the GameCube one, but we do have it. That's the only one I don't personally own. He paid for that one. I just found it when I was traveling and picked it up. So, at least we have it. Funny enough, now it's going to be on the Switch Online, so I can just play it there. I don't have to break it out of my GameCube every time. But I was able to land a pre-order for the collector's edition, but they only allowed one per account. So I went ahead and got it for Junior because it means more to him. You know, I'd rather him have it and enjoy it. And I just went ahead and pre-ordered a normal edition for me, which is fine. I just want to play it and I'll enjoy it a little bit. But yeah, the 3DS versions were the ones that I think I really got into it the first time and started enjoying them more. I haven't played all of them. I haven't played most of them all the way through, but I have enjoyed them at least for a bit. So it looks good, and I'll be definitely getting it. So we'll be able to talk about that and see how it goes. But it's good to hear. At least you seem happy with how this one is.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious. What do you think of my theory with the way the trailer went? Like, could we get a branch story coming from this? Like, it seems like something they might do. Like they've done it before. Like an early big decision, kind of split it off.
I would be surprised if they didn't do something like that. Like,
okay.
In the sense that, because usually there's always like some big climactic thing at the end. And so I'm curious. I think your theory might be sort of spot on, where it's either somebody wins and gets their wish, and then you have to deal with the repercussions of that wish, or potentially it could also be something like they kind of find out the whole tournament's actually a bit of a sham, and so then they end up all working together to actually try to overthrow the tournament or something. Who knows?
Because it seems like, you know, you're picking 1 out of 4, so that's already 4 different stories you can play through. And depending how that story breaks down, you know, everybody could be kind of the same situation until the tournament. You win the tournament, and then their story continues where you're, like you said, it's dealing with the aftermath, good or bad, and kind of, you know, maybe the one kid gets his dad out of prison, but it starts like a rivalry with somebody else, and that starts a war or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So I got to give them credit. They're really good about replay value. Like, there's going to be a lot of story here.
As of this recording, it's still on Amazon if you want the collectors.
Oh, okay.
Damn. This must be like the most available I've ever seen. I've ever heard of one being.
Well, it's gone everywhere else now, but only Amazon's like, Nintendo gave us a good amount of copies, so it's still up.
Yeah, until they like cancel your pre-order.
I think everybody's worried about it being thrown against the wall or crushed. But.
Yeah. I'm as tempting as it is. I don't think I play Fire Emblem enough to warrant getting a big collector's edition, because Jeremy's getting it, so it's not like I can't just look at the art book and stuff from there. So, don't know. All right, let's go on to our next little bit.
More Chase news.
Yeah. Decay Challenge for Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch Online limited time event happening June 9th to September 1st. This is kind of a weird one. People were trying to claim like, oh, Nintendo's doing achievements. And I was like, this is not achievements. This is something different, very much Nintendo. I'm kind of interested. I need to try this weekend. Basically,
already tried it.
You have, okay.
Yeah, it's just weird. Instead of NFTs, we're getting DKCs. So,
yeah, I guess. You can play Nintendo Switch Online Donkey Kong games and unlock digital challenge cards for completing listed challenges. More challenges available if you have Donkey Kong Bonanza, ranging from beginner challenges all the way to developer challenges, which are more difficult. So what exactly, you guys have done this, or Steven, if you want to try and explain how this worked for you.
So they put it in a couple categories. They put it in Bonanza, which I'm not going to do any of them because I need to play the game first. They put it in certain classics, which is going to be the Game Boy, NES ones, and then they put it in the country category where you play country 1, 2, and 3, certain levels of them. And then once you complete the challenge, you basically put your name on the bottom of the card and what date you and time you unlocked it. The only thing that's a little dirty that I found out is you can rewind as much as you want until you complete the challenge. So one of them that was that's really cheap is doing one of the minecart levels. So whenever I screwed up, I was like, rewind. It doesn't grade you. It just, you either get the challenge card or you don't. So overall, it doesn't care how you get it, as long as you get it. But it's still fun because I did all the Donkey Kong ones on Game Boy, NES, I did Donkey Kong Land, and I think I have a few more Donkey Kong countries to do, and then I just have Bonanza to do, which I have until September 1st to play the damn game. So I was like, okay.
I think I'm actually okay with it not like letting you rewind and so forth. Like if you don't want to do that, you can apply that challenge yourself. But if somebody else wants to do it, but they may not be able to as easily, that kind of helps them out. But this isn't like achievements. It's not like you show them off to other people. It's just, oh, cool, I get to look at this digital card.
Yeah, it's just beat the level and get a card. So I was
Right.
just like, I don't care. So that's why I was like, well, you're allowing me to rewind. So do I still get the challenge card? And they're like, yeah, you do. I was like, cool. So
it's a fun extra to get you to play the games. So I'm actually okay with that. Like, if you really want to do it where you don't use that, you just don't use it. Like it's as simple as that.
It's much better than that abysmal. Sorry to bring it up, but the abysmal Wii U game Amiibo tap, where you tap an Amiibo and you got a demo of the game they're from.
I remember that.
And then you tap it again, and if you tap Mario twice instead of another Mario title, you'd get Metroid. And everybody's like, why? But
yeah, that was a really shitty thing.
like it should have unlocked just NES Remix stuff, because that would have worked out so much better. And that's what I almost thought this was, but then it was just, no, play some of these really hard levels so you can see how much you do really suck at some of these. God, and then other ones, like, just reminisce again. And because it's pulling from the NSOs, it just makes it so you play that level and then you get the card. It doesn't go back to the game at all. You just celebrate you beat the level, and then it says challenge card unlocked, and then it kicks you back to the challenge screen again. And I'm like, this is nice.
Okay. So I need to pick that up. I might mess around with that later tonight after I edit everything. Chase, what were your thoughts on it? You played some of it too, right?
Yeah, I played through the country series just because that's my favorite.
That's your jam.
It's my favorite platformer. Honestly, it's my favorite platformer series. Loved it back on the Super Nintendo. But yeah, everything Swan said's correct. Like, it's just literally, it starts you at either a certain part of a level or at the beginning of a level. It just says beat the level. And so you just run through, you beat the level. If you die, you can either restart at the checkpoint, or you could just rewind right before you died and correct the mistake you made. And then, yeah, after you finish it, it even does it's funny because like it'll show you cut out to like the map screen, and then Decay will like do his dance, and then all of a sudden the game will just kind of like cut you out, and it'll send you to the next one after you get your card. Like, it's really funny how it works, but no, I mean, it's pretty simple, straightforward. So I haven't done any of the classics. I've just done the country. I don't have Bonanza yet, so I don't have access to that stuff.
Okay. When I mess with it later, I'll have to try it, because I do have Bonanza and I finished the story, so it's not going to spoil anything for me if it goes through and what it has me do. So I might focus on those, and we'll talk about it more next week. But I wanted to ask, before we get to the next half of this, what is another series you would like to see them do after Donkey Kong? Because these are apparently limited time things. Like I said, June 9th to September 1st for the Donkey Kong one. We know they're going to do a Mario eventually of some sort. But like, is there another series you guys would want to see them do?
All of them. Just do it whenever there's an anniversary. Give us one for Mario. Give us one for Metroid. Give us one for
Zelda.
Dare I say it, F-Zero. Give us one for Zelda. Like, show your love for all of it.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of them can start including GameCube games too for the ones that have them.
Because once we have enough F-Zero games on there, you can give us, F-Zero for Game Boy, F-Zero for N64, F-Zero for GameCube, and
Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance, and then 99 maybe, but they could still include that too. But yeah, it's basically another way of presenting us with a different version of Remix, but more of a just, hey, do you want these challenge cards? I'm just hoping that as much as you get to see them, that when the events are all over, your cards just don't go away.
Oh, that's concerning. Like, and this should be like, you should be able to like decorate your screen with them somehow, like some kind of
like
long.
That's really what I want to know is, what happens on September 2nd?
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
Because I love having the cards, and it would be like, opening up my old issues of Nintendo Power and seeing those cards in there where they had the Nintendo Power challenge cards and stuff. And I was just like, that's what it's harkening back to for me, but you need to let me keep them.
For sure. Chase, any other series you'd want to see done?
I actually like Swan's idea with just basing it off the anniversaries. Just makes sense to me. F-Zero, he mentioned it already. Metroid, I think, would be a good one. Because there's like plenty of like challenges, like challenging areas where you could say like beat this boss or, make it through this like really difficult room or something like that. So
and they can do the same thing to make you go back to playing Metroid Prime 4 again. So it's like, they can do all that stuff.
Yep.
So no, I think Metroid would be a good one. Just trying to think if there's another one off the top of my head, but no.
Zelda's the one that I thought of the most. That I want. I mean, there's such a variety of those you could do, and you could have boss fights like beat this boss without getting hit, or beat it this certain way, or different little things like that. I think that would be kind of a fun one, or just solve a puzzle within a certain amount of time.
Yeah, because that's also the beauty of it is, it's never timed, and it never has secondary restrictions. So one of them is to beat King K. Rool, but you can get hit. You can do whatever you want. And the other ones are you can do this level as fast or slow as you want. So I kind of like it that it's just opening itself up for the kids to keep doing it too. To show like they don't have to get the best time. They won't be ranked against their friends. You'll just say, I got the card. And they're like, cool, you beat the level. And I like that better than having to compete in like a ranking system, and just more of I played that one. That one was sweet. So
I think the other thing, speaking of like kids or younger people or people that don't play as much, this is an interesting way to focus the spotlight on a series that people might not play. Like, I want to go into the challenge, and here's a little sample, like play this level of Donkey Kong Country. Oh, I've never tried this before. I want to try more of it. And that might get you into playing the series. Or, for kids to try them out.
Yeah, one of the cards is you play the first level of Donkey Kong Country, so you get introduced to Donkey Kong Country.
And by that point, you should already be in love because Donkey Kong Country is a perfect game. It's absolutely fantastic.
Game. That soundtrack, it's one of the best soundtracks.
I'm still trying to find the CD of it because they did release that and it was so good.
I just totally thought about it and I was like, why did I think about this just a moment ago? There's a game that's coming out not that long from now. Be fucking perfect for this. Star Fox. Like,
yeah.
How many times can you play Star Fox? Star Fox 64, Star Fox.
Not the same game.
You could difference of opinion. Anyway,
it's the same as 64, but not the same as 1 or 2 or
I don't want to toot my own horn, but I have all the country soundtracks.
Nice. Why are they not ripping on
those? If you can, rip them, because a lot of CD players hate the monkey heads.
Yeah, we need to talk about trying to do that because I wouldn't mind getting some of that music.
Because I've heard a lot of CD players are like, I don't know how to spin this, like the ones that suck in the CD.
Oh yeah, they won't work on those at all.
Like, this is a monkey head. What the hell is this?
Yeah, that's why they're so hard to find. All right, the other part of this is there's a Super Mario Brothers 40th anniversary limited time collaboration for Donkey Kong Bonanza, where you can get Mario and Luigi costumes for Paulina and Decay.
Now I have to play it.
And they're coming in 4 timed waves, which is kind of weird. Now to June 30th, July 14th to July 21st, August 4th to August 11th, and August 25th to September 1st. I don't know what the plan is for that, of why it's so limited, or if you're only unlocking certain things. They weren't clear about it, but I need to get back in there. And I don't have the DLC yet, and you do have to have the DLC to do this.
So
I may have to break
what's funny, though, is the first one gives you 18 days, and then the other ones give you 1 week.
Yeah, which makes me wonder what they're about.
But now we know what happens when Donkey Kong gets a magic mushroom. He gets health.
The Mario and Luigi costume is cute, but I still haven't bought that DLC yet because I played that game and there's so much fucking content. I just didn't get it yet. Though I do kind of want the DK Island. That seems fun.
TK Island would be cool, but to me it was just like they were just like, oh, you get a Mario and Luigi costume for Donkey Kong and Paulina. I was just like,
I told Crystal, I was like, if any of the princesses are anywhere in there, I was like, it's over. And I was like, it's just Mario and Luigi. We're good.
For now, we don't know what the other stuff unlocks. So we'll see.
Yeah, wave 2, they're going to be like, guess what?
All right, let's move on. So the next game here was Lords of Fallen 2 for Switch 2, coming fall 2026. This looked like a just hack and slash game. I'm not familiar with Lords of the Fallen.
It's Soulsborne through and through. They even like champion the fact that they are. Like the developer actually just openly admits it and champions it. So
the original, before they rebooted though, the original one for PS4 and Xbox One was Easy Souls. It was I recommended it to everybody. It was a really good game, but it basically was much easier so people could enjoy a Dark Souls game for once. And I think that's what made it more of a popular series. I don't know if it's still easy, but the original one was before they rebooted.
Okay. Next up, and this one was a happy surprise for me, Lies of P Complete Edition. And they're actually true. It is a complete edition on cart. Coming for Switch 2, August 6th, digital, October 2nd for the physical. So a little bit longer wait for that physical copy, but I think that's well worth it in this case. But like all the DLC and the main story are all included on cartridge.
Pre-ordered mine.
Yep. I need to get mine ordered as well, but I'm quite interested in that.
I wanted all the lore. I do not need the puppet. I wanted all the lore, so I got the one with the art cards.
Yeah, I'm not getting the puppet one was like stupid expensive too. Some of these collector's editions were
I was
crazy.
just like, that one would sit somewhere and just scare children. I was like, I'm fine with the art cards.
Because I think I posted part of it on the deals and such under the Discord, and I was just like, good God.
But thankfully, it's not. Thankfully, that stuff only is exclusive to I Am 8-Bit, while the other versions, for the most part, you can just get anywhere.
So. Oh, good. Oh, almost closed the window there on accident. I'm going to go back and forth with Soulsborne's, but this being complete with all the DLC, I've heard really good things about the story. If it's adjustable in difficulty, maybe I'll be able to kind of get through it more, but I just want to see how it works. Yeah, I was hoping. Damn it. Chase is like, no. How do I break his heart on this one?
It's I tried the demo of it because Shano was really interested in it. She got to the first boss, which is kind of more like a mini boss. I tried it a few times, and I was just like, yeah, nah, sorry. You're on your own. And then
I watched an expert play through it because the lore is so goddamn good.
Yeah, so it's like you're almost better off doing the Swan method. Beat it by osmosis. Watch somebody else beat it.
Especially what they put in that trailer and told you about. That is such a huge part of it, and there's just so many nuances that
I want to support developers that are putting out a complete game. Like I love that, and I want to support them for that.
Like I could talk forever about all the things that change when you pick human or puppet. Oh, so good.
Okay. I'll have to see. I'm not sure on that one. All right, next we had Devil May Cry 5 Devil Hunter Edition coming June 23rd with a very confusing setup of what's happening with this. So it's digital in the US, key card in Japan, and then, Steven, you think it might be physical fully on cart in Europe? We haven't confirmed this yet, but
because they showed the box art and it didn't, and the one I saw didn't have the key card.
I would import that version then, because Devil May Cry 5 was a lot of fun. I had it on Xbox One, really liked it. I got the Series X version, which was a separate physical release, and that was like really impressive with how it looked with the ray tracing and all the extra content. And I don't know which version they're pulling from. Obviously not the ray tracing part, but it seems to have all the extra content that they added for 5. So it's kind of nice to get the extra characters. This is kind of an in-between of those two. But it looks like it was running really good, and they're really pushing to keep that frame rate solid as it's needed, which is good. So, yeah. Oh, what was that face for, Steven?
Some people are saying the European one might just be a code in a box.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Oh, God. All right, I'm just going to do the sound again for this one. That's terrible. All right. So, Muramasa Revenant Blades for Switch 1 and 2, early 2027. I love the Muramasa games. They have absolutely gorgeous animation. This one looks like no different, which
Complete
is
on
great.
cart?
Is this complete on cart for both or just Switch 1?
Both.
Oh, okay. Then I want the Switch 2 version because that just
I
seems like
already pre-ordered the collection.
Did you post the link on the Discord for that? I'll have to look and see.
I might have. It was from Best Buy that I found it.
Oh, okay. I'll have to double check. Now that if it is actually complete on cart, I need to get that. I like the series. I've played them. I played it on the Wii. I messed with it on the Vita. For like those older Muramasa releases and stuff, and it's such a pretty game. You ever played these, Chase?
No, actually, I don't think I'm trying to remember which.
I think they were the same ones that also did Dragon's Crown. You might have played those on PlayStation.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Trying to remember which trailer that was.
It came out for Wii, and then the sequel came out for Vita.
Mm-hmm.
Now Vita is truly dead because it's coming off the Vita onto the Switch 2. And it's known as like some of the best vanillaware action games you can play in terms of like side scrolling. So
I might give it a go then. I might give it a look.
I think it'd be well worth it. It's always been controlled well. It's animated absolutely beautifully. You're basically playing paintings, like the way the whole thing works. Really well designed. So I'm happy with it.
Yeah, it's confirmed all on cart.
Yes. Okay. Cool. It's another one to add to my list early next year. All right, Xenoblade Chronicles Nintendo Switch 2 editions. So we were wondering if we'd get one of them. They decided, fuck it, here's all three. They apparently learned their lesson from what we've seen, because they're using similar tech that they did for Xenoblade Chronicles X, which that Switch 2 edition is bad. Let's just say that. Bad enough that I canceled my pre-order and didn't even fucking get it.
Wow.
Yeah. It's still sitting in the drawer at GameStop because no one else bought it. I was the only one to pre-order it. And I saw what it did and I was like, I don't need it that bad.
It's going to be worth like $500.
Like, fix this by now?
No.
Works great in boost mode on handheld.
That's what kills me. It's like I can go play it. Like, yes, it's in 30 FPS instead of 60. I don't give a shit. I've already played it on there at 30 and it was fine. It looks so much cleaner on boost mode on Switch 2. It's just not worth buying a whole other fucking $70 copy just to have it look bad. But they seem to have pulled back a lot of that on these games. They look much more refined and they learned their lesson. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition available now, or you can get it physically July 30th, which I've pre-ordered all three of these already, which that tells you something.
I called it.
Yep. Oh, what, did I pre-order them all?
As soon as I saw the physical Switch 2 editions, I was like, Jeremy's going to have them all.
Fuck, goddamn right I do. I have every Xenoblade game, surprisingly. Every freaking release of them. Even the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Tora, like the one that was by itself. I have the original release of the first one, the collector's edition of the Switch release. I've got the 3DS one. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition comes with a new hoverbike vehicle for faster travel, new equipment designs, and then they voice the heart-to-heart conversations. So it's kind of neat just to have that added in. They're actually fully voice acted now. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is getting a July 30th digital and October 1st physical release. You can control blades in a new action battles, so it's kind of a new hack and slash part. New rare blade and blade quests, new equipment designs for Pyra and Mithra. And then Xenoblade Chronicles 3 coming December 3rd for both versions, so it's just day and date for all of it. A new defensive battles against waves of enemies, so it's basically a horde mode. New hero and hero quest, and newly voiced event scenes. They've also gone back and any cutscenes have been redone in much higher resolution and frame rate. So even if they were videos that were not in engine, which most of them are, but there were some of them that weren't, those have been enhanced and look a lot better now too. And
everybody said it 2 needed it, so this is very welcome.
Yeah, and I have not gotten confirmation if all of the content is complete on these or not. Because 2 had a separate DLC that I have the cart for, but I don't know if A, that is included on this game, or B,
Torna's Pass.
yeah, because it was a separate cartridge on mine. It's a standalone. And like if I bought the digital version for Chronicles 2, would that count, or would it view it as a different game and not give me the enhancements? I don't know.
See if we can find out.
Well, I want to see if the boys are going to get this version or if they're just going to get the digital upgrades, because then we can find out that way and see if my cart works on theirs. But I haven't seen any confirmation. I haven't actually seen anybody ask that question yet. So I just want to know. I'm curious. I mean, I'm getting this regardless, but I don't know if the extra DLC is included.
On July 30th, digital and physical versions of the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna the Golden Country game will receive a free update enabling 4K 60 frames and 1080p on Switch 2.
Okay.
So it's going to get the same upgrades. People who have it as part of the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 expansion pass can also access the upgrade, blah, 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 blah. And this is from the eShop page. So
okay. Because that's the only one where they released the DLC as a standalone cartridge also. So I was like, how are they going to handle that? So that's good to know.
Yeah,
that
so
they
unlike some companies, Absalom, having a Switch 2 version, they're like, oh, even if you have the physical, you're okay.
Nice. Yeah, I hate Square does that too, where they're just like, yeah, if it's digital, we'll do something, but physical, you can go fuck yourself. Like, just
It's bad that they did it for Final Fantasy Tactics, and then they're like, but that's it. We're not going to give you an upgrade on anything else.
And they could make so much money from that. Even if they charged a little bit for it, people would buy it. I would buy it. Fuck, without a doubt. Like, it'd be great. So, hell, what was it? Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2? I don't think it's even on this list.
Well, yeah, that got like under the radar.
Yeah.
Remaster coming with everything, and there's a collector's edition, which is just a steelbook and some stuff.
But it's a key card only, and there's no
key card and save data doesn't work.
Yeah, and no path to enhance it. But they're like, well, it's all on card. It's like, it's a key card, so fuck off with that explanation. And B, I already imported the game, so both of mine are in the cart anyways. So I'm good. I'm not upgrading that one. Square makes weird choices. At least Capcom were like, we don't like it, but damn it, we cannot fucking argue with your results. Like, these games are amazing. You don't earn our praise, but you do earn forgiveness. So, I guess they also earn our praise. I got that wrong too. All right. This was a fun surprise. Xenoblade Genesis for Switch 2 coming 2027. I also had the joke that in the UK, this was called Xenoblade Master System. I had one person argue with me and send me a trailer saying, no, it's Genesis. And I'm like, here's the boxes for the two consoles, the US and the US and European versions of the Sega Genesis. This is the joke. Stop it. It's a joke. Get over it. Everybody else thought it was funny. That person took it very seriously.
There was another person who commented on it who fixed it for you.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Well, I did it on Threads and got it right. And then when I was typing it over on
he had Kingdom Hearts on the
Blue
brain.
Sky, I put Kingdom Hearts.
And I was like, Xenoblade? What?
Yeah, I deleted it and fixed it. I was like, thanks, Steven. I mentioned you in the message too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're getting a brand new Xenoblade. There was so much they were showing in this trailer. Like, the story, it seems very involved. It's a Xenoblade game. What do you expect? Looks like you have a whole group you get to play with, as you also expect. The art style, I thought, was really nice. Like, it's great to see what the games can look like when they're just like, all right, we have the power of the Switch 2. We can do whatever.
I was going to say Monolith Soft and Switch 2 tech. Oh boy.
Yeah, this one
no
looks
Switch
great.
1.
Yeah, no Switch 1. We're leaving that behind. It looked really good. I'm going to be ordering this one. I'm definitely going to be playing it. It looks almost like a Ring world, because you see the horizon line go up like it's curving. So I don't know if like it's inside of a world and that's what you're exploring.
Nowadays we call that a halo.
I was trying not to, I guess Nintendo wouldn't be sued, but they might sue them. I don't know.
They already lost a lawsuit with the UK.
Yeah, heard about that too. So I'm getting this, Steven. I'm guessing you're going to be getting it too. And Chase,
I'll
what
be
about
getting
you?
the collector's edition as soon as it's announced. And
Yeah,
then
I will do that as well because I have all the
and then
Xenoblade
now I
collector's
can
editions.
start finally playing them, and I would have to give up everything else in life, including eating and drinking, because these are like 100 hours a piece.
Yeah, but I have found I finished the first Xenoblade Chronicles. I started the second and third, but they ran really rough on the Switch, so I was just like, I'm just gonna wait and see. I was gonna play them on Switch 2, and I was like, oh, now we're getting definitive editions. Like, all right, fuck,
With
I'll play
extra
it then.
stuff that you would have been like, fuck, if you beat it.
Oh, I've been so pissed. But this one, I want to play this one from day one. It looks amazing, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. And this is one of those games I'm assuming eventually will have its own direct. Like, this is going to get its own direct, easy. I mean, Splatoon's getting one, so Xenoblade should get
Tomb
one.
Raiders is getting one. This will definitely get one.
It seems like because this is kind of like the Nintendo RPG these days. Like, this is one of their big guns that they put out. We talked about exclusives. You can only get the Xenoblade series on Nintendo systems, and that's been a big draw for stuff. And I find it so funny that this series they did not want to bring to the US. Like, all the trouble they had to go through just to port the damn thing here on the original Wii, and it's become one of their biggest selling series they've ever had.
Like Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
And Fire
So,
Emblem.
Yeah, Fire Emblem took a while to get here as well.
But now their biggest title ever is coming up next.
I have thoughts on this one. I don't know. All right, Nintendo Switch Sports Resort for Switch 2 coming out October 22nd. We have a return to Woohoo Island, which is great. 12 sports to play, which includes boxing, table tennis, archery, tennis, volleyball, bowling, basketball, golf, thumb wrestling. That's a different one. Skateboarding using mouse controls, power cruising, which is the jet ski stuff, prop plane, and jump rope. You can play as either what they call a sports mate, which is a character you can create that in their design, or just go a classic Mii character, which is just feels right to use. But if they don't add new options and other features to some of these, this kind of feels like a reheating of the Wii Sports Resort, Switch Sports leftovers to me. Because most of these games I can already play on my Switch because of Switch Sports.
But there was one he dedicated 5 more minutes to show you. You cannot get this anywhere else.
Yeah.
Which was such a weird thing, but
that was 5 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
Yeah, that was like the okay, Nintendo. I get it. That's some wrestling.
It was such a cringy 5 minutes too. I'm just like, okay, just stop.
Make it sound bigger.
Yeah, which is, I mean, all right. Let's be honest. It's probably fun to play if you're playing with somebody else. That's great. But we already knew this. I would have rather spent 5 minutes if they were going to fly around with the prop plane, just showing how Woohoo Island is like. We brought it back. It looks so much better now. Fuck, do that.
I'm excited for the prop plane.
Prop plane was fun, but that was on Resort where you could use a Wii remote. So that's
I know, but now it's going to look proper,
right? But maybe I'm just saying, like, they've kind of reheated it.
And if they fixed it, I hope bowling is much better now.
Yeah, bowling has kind of gone back and forth. Archery on Wii Sports Resort was one of my favorite games because it played and controlled so well and just was fun to do. But then it was just like such a short game. They didn't add much context to it or content. If they can expand that, I'll be happy. Like, that needs to be in there. We got tennis and table tennis. Those are different enough that, they play differently. That's fine. Volleyball was in the last game. Basketball was a DLC for the last game that they added later on.
Golf was a free update.
Yeah, that's part of what I meant. We're not getting baseball back, which is kind of weird because baseball was actually pretty fun. Like, it was actually a really good one. We're getting golf, but I'm curious if we're going to get more than one course. Which, famously, the first Wii Sports, it was the entire course of NES Golf, which I thought was kind of a fun Easter egg. But I'd like to see more than just that. Jump rope seems weird. Like just kind of a lazy like we need another idea to make this 12 games. Jump rope.
And
Just
it's already
spin
on.
your
It was already
Joy-Cons.
on Switch when they released that free one, the Jump Rope Challenge.
Oh, that's right. Power cruising was also from Resort because that was one of the ones showing off that you could do the separate motion with the Motion Plus back on the Wii.
The closest we're going to get to a wave race.
Yeah. Skateboarding, I think, is the most original because it's kind of a fun use of using the mouse mode. And I was like, at least you're trying something different. Like I'm down to try that and see what happens. So I don't know. We'll probably end up getting it anyways. I'm a fucking sucker. I know I am part of the problem, but it just feels like they're not really being as creative as they could be with this. Like I need to see more stuff involved in it. Because even previous ones, like, yeah, it was a novelty with Wii Sports, and it was bundled with the system, so you just got it when you got it. Wii Sports Resort at least added new games. Like, we don't have sword fighting. Like, I'm shocked. Like, sword fighting was always great. I want that to come back, but it's not here. But that used the Motion Plus and kind of proved stuff. Wii U had good sports for that, and at least tried new things. Though, dear God, how many people probably stepped on their gamepad trying to play golf and stumbling into it.
So you guys are gonna have to make a choice between Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, Gears of War E-Day, or Nintendo Switch Sports Resort.
Yeah, it's E-Day.
Yeah.
It's fucking E-Day.
Choice is an interesting word.
Yeah,
some wrestling, guys. Some wrestling.
We have the game we want and background noise. We can ignore the background noise. Everything else. Sorry, Nintendo. I'm getting that game other than this right now. So I think this was one of the more disappointing ones to me because it feels like this is the one that fits people claiming, oh, Nintendo isn't being original. They're just regurgitating the same thing. And I'm like, okay, broken clock hit the
their
point.
Last of Us.
Probably more fun, but
ouch.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, made for a good show. This would not make for as good a TV show. I'll give it that. Last of Us was a good show. All right, let's move on to our next little bit here. RuneScape Dragon Wilds coming for Switch 2 on September 15th. This looks like just...
I saw this trailer 6 times. Every single thing had this shown.
There's going to be a crowd for playing this because RuneScape is an older series.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm glad they didn't spend as much time.
This is for people who want Fable at home.
That's great. I mean, at least it's coming back, and there's some. I got one friend that was kind of thought it was interesting, but he's old, so we'll see.
Wow.
Did he play RuneScape?
Probably, Jason. We love you.
He was there for the launch.
I don't think he's that old.
Can't take it back. He said he's old.
Yeah, fair enough. Star Fox coming June 25th. Demo is available now. It's really good. They didn't do Corneria, the first level, like everyone kind of expected. They picked a level in an asteroid field later on, which really shows off how the game plays. It's absolutely
Can you imagine
gorgeous.
if this is how they showed off the game in a sizzle reel?
Okay, yeah. It's great for a demo. Probably wouldn't have been great for sizzle reel. But the demo does have where you can unlock the second path in there, so you kind of get 2 levels when you play it, which is fun. I did find out a few things about the game, like all the cinematics, those are not cutscenes, it's all in-engine. So like they're really pushing... Switch 2 can make some damn good graphics when it's not porting something old. Like it can do a lot of stuff.
Yes, Saber.
Damn. I forgot to write it in here. We did find out who the developer is. Do you by chance have that still, Steven?
Yeah. Let me get it really quick.
Yeah, because it was... I'm glad we at least, we know who's doing it. And I know Nintendo has kind of explained why they don't announce the developers right away, which is kind of a mixed bag, but this kind of proved a good reason why. But go ahead.
Beeland Studios, formed by former Vicarious Visions developers after leaving the studio because they did not want to make Call of Duty games.
Mm-hmm.
Were tapped to make Star Fox, and it brought a tear to even Argonauts games' eye, saying, like, you did us proud. This is what our original vision was for how the characters looked in terms of realism,
Mm-hmm.
and they gave their blessing, saying we can't wait to play the full game.
So Nintendo didn't announce, they usually don't announce the developers right away. We usually don't find out until either someone beats the game or later on before release. Because as soon as people found out who developed it, they immediately started going back to some of their older games, which weren't as successful, and that some of them were like free to play or
Like Knockout
live
City,
service,
yeah.
Knockout City, but they were technically impressive. But that became the focus. They didn't care how good Star Fox was looking and how good it was playing and everything. They tried to just shit on it.
So for me, it's a catch-22. Sometimes you might find out what they worked on before they created the studio, which in this case was Vicarious Visions, and where you know about Galactic Racer, which we saw last week too, is some of the Burnout people. So you're like, this has a really good pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that is some of them, they don't go into detail of where they were beforehand. So something like Until Dawn 2, the other games they made are all VR games. So I'm worried. So,
Yeah.
And it doesn't say where they came from. Like, is there any kind of pedigree? Have they ever worked on a game like this before? Is this their first try? Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you play the demo or see any of the stuff, they are doing a fantastic job. This game, it feels really good. Like, I love playing Star Fox. And, you set your controls, everything acts as it absolutely should. You can quickly go between different, like into the cockpit for a lot of the levels if you want to play it that way. The mouse controls are kind of a different way, but they actually work fairly well for playing stuff. If you want to
try it for yourself, because the Treehouse ruined it.
The guy wasn't very good.
Yeah. I was just like, don't do that again, guys.
I used it during the demo just to mess around with it, and I was like, okay, this is actually pretty fun, and it's really quick to switch between them.
Yeah.
So I think that's a fun extra for that. It does make for some weird controls, so you might want to tweak how those controls work personally. But try the demo, but Chase, I kind of understand you want to hold off and just play it, because you're like, I'm already convinced, just give me the goddamn game.
Yeah. I probably should give the demo a shout, but
I honestly, you're already convinced and you want to play it, so just go into it new. Like, because this does show you the prologue video, which we've kind of seen part of the trailer, and it goes into some of the beginning stuff. So if you want to just go into it, like, I got it, I'm playing it, just wait a week and a half or 2 weeks and just play it there. The demo's nice, but like, you don't unlock anything. There's no carryover or anything like that. So I would probably actually tell you to wait. just enjoy it fresh. So not like we're having to convince you to try it.
Right.
You're sold. All right, Final Fantasy Resonance for Switch 1 and 2 coming October 22nd. The first Final Fantasy game in HD 2D, which our old friend Joey is not going to be happy about. That man hates HD 2D. But it's turn-based combat, but you can also summon characters from other Final Fantasy titles for attacks. Like, they summoned in Cloud from Final Fantasy VII Remake, who showed up in full 3D to do the attack, which was hilarious. Go ahead, Steven.
So if you look deeper into this game, this is a title similar to Octopath Traveler 0. Okay. This used to be Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. And what Square did is they tweaked it, reworked it, removed all the gacha. That's why you see Cloud. They removed all the gacha, and now they're releasing it as a full title, full title, on Switch and PS5 and Xbox and stuff. But it is based on Brave Exvius, so everybody is now clamoring, please give us Ariana Grande in the game.
Oh my god.
So if it looked familiar, because a lot of people will recognize the protagonist, and then they're like, oh wait, as soon as it saw Cloud, they were like, yep, it's the game with the gacha removed, which I'm not complaining, because then it's properly controlled and stuff.
Yeah. Switch 1 is on cart. Switch 2 is a key card.
You got it. And and the collector's edition sold the fuck out.
I bet. Oh man. All right, so this next one is a personal excitement for me because I absolutely love the first game. But they announced Pikuniku 2 for Switch 2 coming 2027. The first game, if you've never played it, is an absolutely hilarious and just fun to play platform puzzler where you're just playing as this weird little creature trying to get through this world, trying to help people when you usually screw it up. And I like the fact that they're moving this into a 3D environment now and kind of playing with that. Like they're having to deal with being in 3D at this point, which I'm sure that joke's going to come up a few times. It's very hard to normally explain this game, but just take my word for it. It's really funny. It's cute, and give it a try if you can. I love it. So this is an immediate get for me. If it gets an actual physical copy, that would be great. Because I would like that. Have you guys ever played Pikuniku?
I have the first one.
If you get a chance wherever you can play it, Chase, just give it a shot if it's not that expensive because it's funny. It's one of those games that's almost kind of like Untitled Goose Game, not in the same theme, but just like a cute, smaller game that just has its own comedy as you play through it.
Might be on Game Pass.
That probably wouldn't be a bad place to play it if it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I'll take a look.
Yeah. I give it my seal of approval on that one. Dragon Quest Monsters, The Withered World, coming December 3rd. All I know about this game is Jennifer won't stop asking for it, and I keep having to remind her she doesn't have a Switch 2.
But good news, it's coming out for Switch 1 and Switch 2.
Oh, God, don't tell her that.
The Switch 1 is on cart. Yeah, because Switch 1 is on cart, and I've pre-ordered the collector's edition, and Switch 2 is a key card. So it is coming for Switch 1 and Switch 2.
I might have to do that then. God damn.
So there's good news for her after all.
Maybe if I go ahead and if I just pre-order it for her, it'll stop her because she keeps like, oh, I love her to death, but she'll be like, we'll talk about something different, and we'll be talking about a completely different topic, and all of a sudden be like, you know what's cool? The Dragon Quest Monsters is coming out for sure. Like, oh my God, stop bringing it up.
Well, you can say good news. It's coming out for Switch 1.
We'll go pre-order it. Leave me alone. I'm just glad she wanted to play it. And I tried to tell her, I was like, we have the first one on Switch. Why don't you play that one to find out if you want to play the second one?
Oh, it's old.
Are you talking to her? Like, what's going on? She didn't use the exact phrase of it's old, but I think she's just more excited. This is the new ones. That's the one she's seen trailers for.
Well, that and you get to play as two female protagonists too, so.
Oh, that's fine. That's awesome. I mean, she does like.
No, that's probably what's like. She's like, cool. I'm them.
You're probably not wrong. She does love games like that. I don't know. It's a series I think she would enjoy. I just want her to try them first to find out. Anything is better than her other obsession of trying to get the Winx Club or whatever for Switch. And I'm like, I looked it up and like if it's a game that she would like and it's not half bad, that's fine. It is terrible from what I've seen. Like it is just a shitty design, terrible mechanics. I'm like, please don't get this. Like, you don't need this. I'm not paying for this.
I can find it in the garbage and I'll give it to you.
Yeah, we have a literal library of games. You can pick anything else from.
Library.
Yeah. I'm like, go play a Lego game. Those are better. So, but yeah, that I'll let you know what happens when I tell her there's a Switch 1 release for that. That's going to be great.
Swan will actually already know because he's like feeding her information to like what to say to you, apparently.
He's one of the few that I would trust with that. So I'm like, all right, that would go well. I would trust you two to that one. All right. Next up, we have some more footage of the Duskbloods, which is still looking really good, but no release date. Yeah, it's the same trailer pretty much. But there's a closed network test coming sometime this summer. So I'm intrigued to try that and see if I can get in on it.
There's an interesting discussion to be had of how they're doing this.
Okay.
It's exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's already established that he's really good at what he does because of Elden Ring, Bloodborne, all that good stuff.
Right.
And the fact that there's no full gameplay trailer that people can overanalyze and create their own meta, there's a lot of people who are really excited that everybody's going to go in fresh, like blind and fresh, and have to make from the get go what their setups are going to be without like knowing anything. So people are going to be on forums and stuff like that, and shit, just talking and talking about their loadouts or how they're going to do stuff, because we don't know if it's going to have a single player as well, because it's very multiplayer based. So it's going to be a very interesting thing overall, that everybody's going in blind together. Like there's nothing spoiling this.
I think I'm okay with this being multiplayer only, because they were upfront with it when they talked about like that's what
Yeah,
this
it's
is.
very cooperatively based in a
Yeah.
good way. So
If you know what it is beforehand, that's fine. It's not like they're tricking you to be like, oh, you got to get this. And
yeah,
that was kind of the feeling. Like I love Titanfall 2, but Titanfall 1, when you found out there's not really a single player, you're just kind of doing multiplayer with extra steps. Like that was the story mode. And like I love the game, but like you should have been a little clearer about that beforehand. So this one's looking really good. Do you guys think this is going to end up being a system seller if they pull it off? Like, do you think enough people are going to want to play this that love this type of game that would buy a Switch 2 for it?
if you're looking for graphic fidelity, no, because that old man still looked a little like textured.
Well, it's going to look better than the PS5 and Series X and PC versions because they won't fucking exist. That's the point.
But other than that, it just has the pedigree to be something special. A lot of people are excited for it, especially since it looks like maybe he wanted to make this for PlayStation first, and they're like, nah, and then he's like, fine, I'll go to Nintendo. So I think it will be, if it plays good and it runs well. Like the only thing that can hurt it if it doesn't run well. Yeah. But if Elden Ring Tarnished Edition is teaching us anything, is Duskbloods is looking good. It's in good company if Elden Ring runs well.
All right, Chase, what do you think? You think this will be a system seller for some people? Not for everybody, but
I'm leaning towards no. The only reason why is just because if you like From Software and you like From Software games, like there's plenty of them out there that you don't necessarily need to have this one. But if you've already got a Switch 2, then I'm guessing that you're really excited. So
because the flip side to this being a multiplayer title, if there isn't, like, there's got to be some kind of single player content to it. Like maybe like you can explore by yourself and it's just more difficult.
Yeah, because even Elden Ring Night Rain had some single player.
Yeah, because some people just play by themselves. But this game's going to live or die based on the community it forms. And if it's already stuck just to Switch 2, they're going to need people to be able to play that. And, if one person really likes it, if they get the right people to like it, they tell other people, then be like, oh, I want to play with them, get a Switch 2.
Yeah, what's important now is that the Bloodborne and at least most of the Bloodborne and Elden Ring community seems to favor this game. So that's looking good, because that means like they've got adopters.
Yeah, because I've heard some people look at it and they're like, this might be the closest to another Bloodborne we're ever going to get. Like, because we're just not getting that other game. Sony's already shut down. Well, not Sony, but actually, I think it was what company?
Sony shut down Bluepoint.
Yeah,
yep.
Sony did that. So
even Ueda was just like, I would have loved to do an Ico remake with them, but they're gone.
Such a waste. So, oh well. All right, let's move on to our next little bit. All right, Splatoon Raiders coming July 23rd. Splatoon Raiders Direct coming June 30th. So, sometime next month we'll be seeing more about this game.
Why did we waste time showing this stuff? Anyway.
Well, they showed a little bit. Daily webcomic will be released on Nintendo today, called Deep Cuts Island Misadventures, between June 23rd and July 23rd. So one part of it every day. Splatoon 3 Special Splatfest happening July 10th and 12th. And then Joy-Con 2 Splatoon Colors, Left Blue, Right Light Yellow, coming July 23rd as well. I get why they're doing it, because they don't want it to look like Switch Joy-Cons, but dear God, give us actual full color. Not the hidden inside hint of color. I keep forgetting that my Joy-Cons are red and blue. And I have that damn thing all the time. But I don't ever remove them because I use my Pro Controller.
I am excited for a single-player Splatoon.
Me too. It looks like it's a lot of fun. The challenges look entertaining, and Splatoon I think needs to branch out to be more of an actual series because it's one of the more popular Nintendo IPs right now.
And I think I still have the amiibo pre-ordered.
I still need to get them pre-ordered. Been a pain in the ass finding those. GameStop's been absolutely useless, and everywhere else keeps selling out really quick. So, don't know. I need to keep my collection complete. Damn it. Deltarune Chapter 5 for Switch 1 and Switch 2 is coming June 24th. That's a free update for people that have the game. I only mention it because my kids have been super excited about it. I have not played any of it. I've heard good things about it, but any of you guys play Deltarune, or is that just no, not really?
Chris has.
Is Chris liking it?
I don't know.
That's okay. Well, that's just that. We don't know.
But there's a channel which even Shellshock has mentioned, Kirby GCN 117, who always does the Nintendo Store reactions to the directs.
Nice.
The place went ballistic when Deltarune was shown.
Awesome.
There was only one other title that had an equal amount of fanfare.
All right. And that's probably going to be SnowRunner. But
yeah, you're right.
All right, next up we had Metaphor Refantazio coming to Switch 2 November 12th. I was super excited about this until Steven told me it was a key card. I was like, God damn it. So, I mean, it's a great game. If you're going to get it digital, play it. It looks like a good version of it, but I already have it on PS5, so there's really no point in getting it again. But who knows? I might have considered it if it was like a complete edition, which they didn't really add any DLC for this one. So, yeah. So, main game. Chris might consider it just to play through it the 100th time.
Oh, no, he's going to get it again just so he never ever has to touch his PS4 or whatever. He can throw it in the garbage or whatever.
There you go. It was still surprising to see it. We kind of wondered for a while now if this would be a game that came over, but we're getting a lot more Switch 2 ports for a lot of games. So, good God.
Day and date, too.
Yeah. Speaking of ports, Minecraft Switch 2 Edition finally coming 2026. This has taken a while because Minecraft has not gotten proper updates for a lot of systems recently. But it's got support for vibrant visuals, which is the enhanced lighting and shadows. All of your previous worlds carry over, which I guess that just kind of, they wanted to mention that, but that's always been the case.
They better have a fucking mouse mode.
No shit. They did not say anything about that, but it really could use it. It would be great. It's not ray tracing, but I'll take it.
You know what?
Ray tracing in my Minecraft game.
Hey, that was a thing.
You know what game does need support for some better visuals is this next title.
Well, we'll get to that one in just a sec. I want to point out to Chase, like me and Minecraft with ray tracing has been a thing for years.
Yeah.
Until it finally came out and I got a card that could do it. To the point we had people that I guess they were still fans, whatever, of the old podcast group, and they were giving me shit about it, who would mock me about it. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I want my ray tracing. And I got it, and it was fucking glorious. I loved it. I was happy. So, yeah. I know I'm not going to get it on Switch. I just think it's funny. I do want to know why we don't have it on Series X yet. That's ridiculous. All right, moving on. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 coming holiday 2026 and showing us how graphics should be done on Switch 2. it's
going to be it's after seeing how Lords of Fallen looked great and Wulong 2, we needed something to really like put everybody in their place, saying this is how you do graphics on Switch 2.
I was wondering if it's just bad video that they put in, but do you think it's just that rough looking?
Either it's shitty YouTube bitrate or it's like, so I don't know what, but...
Okay, all I can say right now
Saber took that pizza out of the oven a little too early. They need to just put that thing back in.
Yeah. All I can say right now is Warhammer and Switch 2 are not getting along very well.
Ooh,
because they released Rogue Trader, which was, in Chase's eyes, an amazing game on Switch 2, and it ran like shit, and it looked like shit on Switch 2. And
Ooh.
then Alcat was like, we apologize. They went in, they improved all the visuals, everything looks great, but then they halved the frame rate to 15 frames. It got worse.
Oh my god.
So people are like, can you just like take a little bit longer and fix it so people can play Rogue Trader on Switch 2? Because so far, every Switch 2 thing that has to do with Warhammer has been like kind of a mess and needs some patches.
So I kind of wonder if, because we've played through all of Space Marine 2's story in co-op, and we've been doing the DLC and stuff, and there are some set pieces that just have swarms of creatures running around and giant bosses and stuff like that. And I wonder if this is the trade-off. They had to kind of lower the resolution to keep it at a playable frame rate and still allow for a lot of that.
Yeah, it makes me wonder too, because they've had experience with the systems before,
Mm-hmm.
because World War Z is on Switch, regular Switch,
Mm-hmm.
and uses an earlier version of their Swarm engine. So maybe they just need to call Capcom and be like, hey, can we borrow some RE stuff?
No shit.
Yeah,
I mean, it might just be like if we just wanted to port it and that's what's coming over. Maybe we'll get something better, you know, starting fresh with a new game or something.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Chase?
Oh, I was just gonna say the old famous saying: "There's no solutions, only trade-offs." So I don't know, like, but yeah, that one was. I was like, because I was even watching, I was like, "Ooh, that's a bit rough." It's like
You're like, hey, oh.
Yeah, it went by kind of quick, and I didn't get a chance to really look at it too deep. So maybe I need to give it a better look.
It's just the background moving is just very, and everybody has ghosting around them.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
all
see,
the
I was
Space
focusing
Marines.
on his armor and how he looked, and I didn't really look at the background.
Yeah, so all the
much.
Space Marines have like a line, like a ghosting line around
Oh
them.
no!
And then when they get to that spot where they see all that big swarm, everything's like sparkling because the graphics are like, what do we do?
even the Switch 2 is
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is."
I need to go back and watch that part full screen in 4K just to see.
Yeah, watch it 'cause it's hilarious. It's hilarious because first you're like, why are the Space Marines ethereal? And then you're like, oh, the whole background is sparkling.
Oh no!
You're like, please just be an early build. Thank you.
Yeah, this.
I'm hopeful. We've had a few games that looked terrible when they were first shown that turned out amazing,
Yeah.
and we've had the opposite. So I don't know how this is going yet.
Yeah, I'm not confident because of Rogue Trader. Until they fix Rogue Trader, Warhammer and Switch 2 are not in good relationship.
Yeah, we already have it on Xbox and PC, so we'll play. We're good. Yeah. We can keep playing it there. But I was kind of hopeful for a portable. But I was surprised we didn't get a port of the first game in the series. But we looked into it. THQ Nordic made that first one. After they've shut down, Sega has the rights to it, and Sega's just making weird choices.
Hope for keycards.
Yeah. God damn it. After that, we had DayZ coming for Switch 2 in 2026, which is... There's some people that really like that. It just seems like...
They're calling it the cool edition.
Really?
Yes.
I just saw DayZ. I didn't see any edition. That's hilarious. It's not the cool edition. So, yeah, DayZ. If you've played it, here it is. Portable-ish. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 for Switch 1 and 2 coming August 27th. I'm probably going to get this on Switch 1 just because it's supposed to be on cart, but I don't know yet. But then I'm also worried how Metal Gear Solid 4 is going to play on it.
First one was not on cart, so on Switch 1, so I just got Switch 2.
Okay. Well, I might end up just getting this on a different system anyways.
Yeah, I'm getting this on.
I'm still just happy to get Metal Gear Solid 4 on a modern console.
Yeah, because the Switch 1 version, last time it was just like, you get this game, but the rest are downloads and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll have to see on that one. All right. Rise of the Tomb Raider 20-year celebration for Switch 2 available now. I've seen some back and forth on which version they ported, and there's some issues because of Spyro. Spyro's hit or miss with some of this, but apparently it's pretty solid of a port. So if you get it, you will enjoy it. They still managed to kind of screw up the mouse controls, but whatever. It seems to be the case. Well, some people were using that for the the bow and arrow stuff. Like they got the controls kind of backwards. It's weird. It looks fun. Tales of Eternia Remastered for Switch 1 and 2, October 16th. This is a remaster of a PS1 RPG from released back in 2000. I only mentioned this one because when I first saw it, I got like a hope. I was like, ooh, Eternia! It's not He-Man. It's not.
No. And it's a key card on Switch 2.
Of course it is. Even though it's a fucking PS1 game. Like, come on! God, that's killing me, man. All right, SnowRunner is available now. I know it's a weird series, but it just seems like a lot of people really enjoy it. Like it's just fun to play.
If you like Toxic Commando, but you wish there was absolutely nothing to shoot, play SnowRunner.
It's just, I don't know how to explain it. I played it with Senua and one of my mates that lives in Colorado, and because he's the one that put us onto it, and it's just oddly like just a relaxing like kind of game that you can just like sit and chill with your mates and BS about stuff and just complete jobs, and it's actually just like oddly fun in that way. Like it's just
it's like a reverse power wash.
Yeah, kind of.
That's a great
down and dirty and get into that.
That's actually, yeah.
Get the job done.
Actually, if anything, SnowRunner needs to do a collaboration with Power Wash Simulator. That would be like
perfect. Oh, I can imagine it now. You're cleaning the vehicles in Power Wash, and then you're driving by and splashing mud on the characters in the other game. Right. Like just have them standing there getting hit.
But yeah, it's just it is an oddly just kind of fun, chill, like, just turn it on, hang out with your mates, talk about stuff, complete jobs. It's kind of
in a way, it's a cozy game. It seems like
it's because
it's a truck-based cozy game.
It's kind of got that State of Decay 2 kind of thing to it though, because like the host is the only one that keeps progression. So like maybe one day Jeremy would be like, "Hey, I need some help on this. I've got a really like tough job I need some help with," and so Swan and I would jump on and we would just help you out, and like
it's Power Wash 1 rules,
kind of
ironically.
But it is just oddly satisfying game. It's hard to describe.
I'll have to see how much it is. It seemed like one of those fun, like if I was traveling, I could just play it on the plane and kind of, I'm just gonna go through here and make it through and just kind of have fun with it. Let's try it out.
It's $40.
Oh, okay, not bad. Next up, we had Everbloom coming spring 2027. I didn't really see too much about this one.
Look out, Dinkum! Here comes Everbloom.
We still have to play Dinkum. We haven't even... Once again, the conversation's gone to Dinkum.
Got Switch 2 edition.
God damn it. I already bought it on Switch 1.
No, I mean free upgrade.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Then we'll do that. Now, you don't have an excuse, Chase. You need to get it so we can play it. We've talked more about Dinkum than we have actual Everbloom, so let's just keep it that way and move on. All right. That's really bad about that. Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix for Switch 1 and 2 coming October 8th. You can transfer your save data if you had played the cloud version on Switch. But
all two of you.
Yeah, but those versions have been delisted now. And I don't even think you get a discount. You're just like, all right, cool. You just don't have it now. You just can't play it.
You get a discount if you bought the cloud versions. You get a slight discount. Hold on.
You shouldn't get anything. You deserve to be punished for that shitty decision. Like, it's more cost effective and probably a better looking game if you just streamed it watching somebody else on YouTube. Like, that's probably just as interactive.
Players who own all Kingdom Hearts Cloud titles, individual or all of it for
Bundle,
Cloud, will get a 50% discount on all the Nintendo Switch 2 native versions of the game. It's not bad of saying a way of saying I'm sorry.
Yeah, or because it's such a small amount, they should have been like, we're just giving it to you.
It's very unsquare, like for them to be like, you can have your save data too.
Yeah. At least they didn't be like, well, the cloud version just gets a better bit rate when they stream it now. Like, that's your Switch 2 edition.
Well, where there's smoke, there's fire. The games are on keycard.
Yep. We don't know about Kingdom Hearts for Switch 1, though, because I'm wondering if that's finally...
Switch 1 is probably on cart. Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah. I mean, it also proves the Switch could do those. They just didn't want to.
Yeah, it could do a PS2 game. Yeah.
I would hope so, yeah. But it is the HD. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologues coming out October 8th for Switch 2, as well as Kingdom Hearts 3 plus Remind on the same day for Switch 2 with a free demo now available, so you can play it. So we're at least getting the 3 Kingdom Hearts games you can get as a bundle or individually. But once again, they're all key cards except for the Switch 1 version, which they were really shy about that. Like, it was a little bubble under there that mentioned it. Never even showed the Switch 1 logo anywhere on the trailer. I looked.
They don't want another Space Marine 2 incident.
Well, yeah, they don't want people to admit that, like, oh yeah, we could have done the Kingdom Hearts on Switch 1. Sorry, moving on. So, surprising after that, Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced. The date to be decided.
No leaks, no nothing. Surprised everybody.
Yeah, but it'll be available at launch for Switch 2, so that's great. It seems to be taking place in the real world instead of Disney movies or Square Enix worlds. Or, as I joked, unless this is somehow the world ends with you, because they were in the middle of Shibuya and stuff, so I don't know, that game's there. Sora generally takes on the look of the world he is in, which has led to a very realistically styled version of him that some aren't quite sure how to feel about. He is wearing just normal sneakers, though they do seem a little big for his feet, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, it feels almost like if Sora was visiting Final Fantasy VII Remake world. Like, that's how his art looks to me. I don't know what you guys think on that one. But yeah, that's coming out. I know Rachel posted on the Discord. She was incredibly shocked that was announced on a Nintendo Direct like this, with no PlayStation or anyone else getting it. So yeah, very weird.
What's a Kingdom Heart?
Sit down, child, and let me tell you a story. And somehow that story will probably still be canon, along with a commercial.
No, you don't have to worry. There's a song about it that he can listen to anytime.
Yeah, I listen to that song. I feel like I'm more like I'm more along the lines of the host in that song than I am in anything else. As Swan will know.
God. All right, and our last little bit here. This is a surprise that was leaked, sadly. The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, coming in 2026. Some of the thunder of this, like I said, this announcement was kind of stolen because it had leaked, or people had leaked it about the time they were talking about the Star Fox stuff. So whenever it popped up, people's reaction were, oh my God, this is it. They're like, oh, we already knew about this. A tapestry is shown that contains references to the original game, including the poor Kokiri kid stuck trying to lift up a rock that never did, which was kind of a funny little touch in there. Do we think this is going to follow the story, or do we think it's going to be kind of changing it or expanding it like Final Fantasy VII Remake did?
I think they'll pull a Star Fox. Whatever Star Fox does to the story is what this one will do to the story.
Okay. What about you, Chase? You agree with that, or you think something different?
It's an interesting theory. I was leaning more towards potentially just like expanding on it, kind of like a Final Fantasy VII thing, where it's like we're gonna keep the story, just expand on it. It's
just hearing the classic tunes and doing some of the things in the game. I can't wait to see in full-fledged.
Yeah.
Even though that is the ugliest looking Link I've ever seen in my life.
I did question that a little bit, but I was like, I mean,
there's already people who drew him as in a slightly different pose as Yamcha from Dragon Ball Z.
That's great.
That's the thing he's doing.
There's more people trying to claim this is AI, that Nintendo didn't develop anything. It's just AI, and I'm like, you guys, that Nintendo's been very clear about that.
The only fear I got is because people were like, this looks like it's using the Unreal Engine.
They tend to use their own in-house engines for a lot of that stuff.
But if we can get like an actual, like, I don't know, model for Navi, that's gonna be crazy if we do.
Well, the funny thing is, I just came up with a theory that's kind of funny. So if you ever remember back in Ocarina of Time, its original development, they had an R-Wing in it because they shared the engine, and that was one of the things they used to test for Z targeting and other things. the engine they're using for Star Fox, because that's their engine that they built, they could maybe use that for Ocarina of Time and kind of repeat history in a really funny way, which would also explain why the fuck Star Fox got remade and Ocarina of Time. We're repeating the history.
In terms of changes, I'll just be excited if we have like a face to Navi, and it's not just a
glowing
blue orb with wings.
I kind of think they might still stick with that. Like they might have a figure in there, but they're not going to give like super detailed. Like it'll just kind of be in the glow as an ethereal thing, but more defined. Does that make sense?
Dream. Yeah, I can dream.
The reason I was theorizing about possibly changing the story is that this is a game about time travel. You're going back and forth, and there was already some aspects of being able to mess with the past and affect the future and things like that. They could expand on that a little bit or do different things. So I don't know. This needs a gold cartridge release. Like, come on. I will pay for that. I've gotten every Zelda Collector's Edition that's come out. I will get this one too. I'm surprised we did not get a Switch 2 announced, but I'm sure that'll happen.
PSA, do not spray paint your carts. Somebody did that with Donkey Kong Bonanza to make it yellow, and it didn't work. So
nope, ruined the whole game.
What you're doing.
Yep. I want to see, like, I know you guys, I want to see more of what Link looks like. I know it's kind of him just laying down for the design. Some people were freaking out. I was like, oh, he's laying down. He doesn't have his hat on. I was like, well, yeah, they couldn't model him without the hat on the N64 because they only had so much space. So they just did the model with it. So I understand why he's not there. I think we need to see a little bit more of him up and moving before I really judge how his face looks. The Yamcha thing does make me really laugh, though. I was not aware of that. If you find it, put that shit on memes under the Discord. I need to see it.
As soon as I find the fan art again, I'll show you.
That's great. But I want to see what some of the other, like especially some of the darker creatures in this game, because we've got like the Skulltula family are going to be a fucking nightmare. Seeing half spider, half humans dangling around a house. That shit was nightmare fuel as a kid, like back then. The Dead Hand in the well, which was that really nasty, rotten thing of a person creature. It's probably going to look disgusting. And then, of course, just the classic Redeads. Like, those things are freaky as shit as it is. And they've gotten some great redesigns over the years. I want to see what this one looks like. So, and then, do you guys think this is going to contain any of the Master Quest changes? No? You don't think they'll include any of that?
I think they should leave that for Game Plus or something.
That's kind of what Master Quest was supposed to be, but yeah. So, I don't know. People are, complaining Nintendo's just doing remakes all the time, which, yeah, it's been a while for Star Fox, but it's actually been from the original N64 release to the time of the 3DS version that was done. It's been longer since 3DS until now than even then. So it is well long enough to make an Ocarina of Time. And this is, like I said, it's not a HD version or a remaster. It's a complete redo. So I think it's on the table for a lot of changes. I want to see who's involved with this, because I know Miyamoto's not doing active development for a lot of stuff, but I just feel he wouldn't let this go without some kind of oversight. I think
since he's still the creative fellow, he's still going to be like, leave that in there. Or,
yeah.
Just don't give us motion controls. Don't you dare touch that. Yeah. We don't need no Skyward Sword or bomb bowling.
Yeah, I don't need no bomb bowling.
I liked Skyward Sword, but I also agree it would be bad for this because it was, at least Skyward Sword was designed around it. Like, this would be forced in there.
I just want to play this on my Pro Controller because because the hour life of my Pro Controller is about as long as the game is. So it's like, I can just sit and people could do like a one full playthrough with just a Pro Controller type stuff. But it's got, of any game that I always want to see get remade, it's going to be an N64 game because you get overly hyped of how they're going to take something that was just rudimentary 3D.
Well, just imagine Castle
and very anti-aliased and not very sharp, and now you're going to get like high fidelity. That was always just like, if you're taking N64 games and giving me a remake, yes, please, because I can't wait to see how you reimagine this.
Yeah. Because like just Castletown alone, being able to see that in full 3D, both in the, when it's active with people running around everywhere, as well as like in the future, whenever the whole
Like I'll
Hyrule's
melt when I get to
destroyed.
Gerudo Valley. I'll be like, that music.
I think one of the biggest changes they have potential for is Hyrule Field actually having a lot more to it. Because like it was mostly empty because that was a technical limitation at the time. And for a lot of games, that's what they would do. But like you could just ride Epona and go around, find Lon Lon Ranch, things like that. But they could add so much more stuff to it because I don't think they're not sticking to the engine or trying to repeat it.
And that's another thing. Lon Lon Ranch, she was singing, and if that gets a fully realized singing song, like there's just so many possibilities this game could have, because of its date and not a release date. Really, I'm not including it in my big question.
Okay. Interesting. So, all right. Well, let's jump. Or do you have any thoughts on this one, Chase?
Yeah, actually, I got one thing.
You're kind of quiet. Yeah, go for it.
Just because you kind of brought it up a little bit earlier.
Okay.
And so I get to finish my thought that I had all the way back from the Star Fox announcement.
Oh, sorry about that.
That didn't that I didn't get finished on that episode. But so the issue that I kind of have with so I get what you're saying about the remakes or stuff like that. The reason why I don't think this is that egregious is because we're still actively getting new Zelda games. The problem that I had with the Star Fox thing is the fact that we haven't gotten just a new game in years. Like if we were actively getting new Star Fox games, and then you remaster the N64 game as just like a tide me over while you're making the next one, that's fine. But we've gotten the same game redone a lot, and it's just because
no, they've already said those are not. They do feature parts of the same, like part of that war, but they are very different games. They are not the same thing over and over again.
Huh? The Swan read the thing where it said that it's a remake multiple times.
It's not multiple times. Even the developers have said it's not. Star Fox 1, Star Fox 2 are not Star Fox 64. Star Fox 64 did get a remake on the 3DS, but the other Star Fox games after it and included are not the same game over. Star Fox Zero was supposed to be intended as a new start, so it featured part of that war and then went very different and included some of the story.
Retelling.
A retelling, yes, but they were trying to start it over. That did not work. So then now they're redoing 64, which they admitted, and that's supposed to be them developing for new stuff and going from there. They have not done the same game 4 times.
It walks like a duck and it talks like a duck and it flies like a Star Fox.
So we've only had one Forza Horizon that's been remade 5 times because it races like a Forza Horizon. They all do, but they're different.
You're playing the 6th expansion to Forza Horizon.
No, I'm just trying to say it's like they're not the same game. Just because they are similar does not make them the same game.
Yeah, I'm not saying that
they're a series. They're going to be similar.
Star Fox 64 is a remake of Star Fox 1, but like Star Fox 0 is, you call it a retelling if you want. It's a
Star Fox
something.
1, yeah.
And like
they've already said this new Star Fox you can use the strategy guide and do the exact same thing. So that cemented that part. So that got us the one confirmed.
Well, they said it was a remake of 64. They were very blatant about that, and I was like, cool, that's what it is.
So I just that's the issue that I have with that, though, is the fact that we've gotten multiple redos.
I get what he's saying, though.
We're not getting new games. Like Zelda, you're actively getting new games. Star Fox, you're not actively getting new games. You're just getting regurgitated content. And
I get what he's saying, because my excitement level for a prequel or sequel to Snatcher would be a lot higher than just a remake of Snatcher, because I'd be worried that something that's I've already had in my mind and I've already had in my memories might be skewed a little bit. So I want new stories. I want the prequel. I want the sequel. only because people are really playing through the demo right now, and there's already talks, at least among the Star Fox fans, that the lines aren't being delivered like they used to be. Like some of the characters have changed looks dramatically to just a totally different persona looking,
which is fine. I don't
and
mind that.
which is fine, yeah. But then other ones are just like, how come the lines aren't being delivered the same way? Some people said that the lines are being delivered better than they were in the direct. So there's a lot of like, what's going on type stuff. So it's rough when you don't, like he said, you don't have all these new games to kind of blur your vision, because if you just have a classic and then you never have anything else that has made for years, and then you remake a classic, people have nothing to go by but the classic, so they're going to really be stringent on it. Unlike Zelda, where they're like, oh well, there was Breath of the Wild, there's Tears of the Kingdom, so many new mechanics have been shown, whatever they do is fine.
Echoes of Wisdom, like there's just like they're actively getting new games. It'd be like now if like they just said we're just going to keep remaking F-Zero GX, or like we'll just keep remaking all these F-Zero games. It's like, cool, but can we just get a new F-Zero game? No, but we'll just keep remaking these games. It'd be like, why?
But if they actually rebooted F-Zero to be like, okay, we're going to remake, the N64 one as a new beginning and then be able to develop from that point, would you rather just not have that and then wonder if they're going to be a new game, or that be the starting point to get people into it and go from there?
If it, like, I get what you're
saying. Because like for Star Fox, everyone's acting like there's only 3 games. There's like 9 games. Because you got Star Fox 1, Star Fox 2, Star Fox 64, Star Fox Command. Then there was Star Fox Adventure, Star Fox Assault. Then we had the remake for Star Fox on 3DS, which they were very clear that was an N64 game made to look better. They did the same thing with Ocarina of Majora's Mask. And then we had Star Fox Zero. So that's 8 games, which 2 of them were... 3 of those are the same game. 64, the remake of it, and then now they've been very clear this is a remake of it. The other ones, like a Star Wars game, just because they have Hoth in them, doesn't make them all the same Star Wars games. They are different parts of it, and they're trying to cover those wars. And not everyone played all of them. They tried different things. Sometimes they worked, sometimes they didn't. And
people didn't like Assault. I actually liked Assault.
I like parts of Assault. I didn't like all of it. I didn't like
people complained that he got out of the jet. I thought it was fine.
I didn't care that he got out of the jet. I thought the controls were bad. That's what I didn't like about that part. But that was rough.
I don't count Adventures because Adventures is Dinosaur Planet.
Right, but it goes like only like 2 or 3 of them had actually been made by Nintendo. Every other one has been made by a third party that's tried to take over to help do something. And even Zero, that was their attempt to kind of like, we're going to reboot the world. And it was fun. I liked it. It had mechanics from 2 before we even had 2 officially released.
Yep.
And other things. So it did go in very different directions. But the R-Wing is designed as the R-Wing is, so everyone keeps thinking it's the same thing. Just, like we've had 4 or 5 Star Wars games I absolutely love that all feature the Battle of Hoth or the Trench Run. They feature that because it's well known and it's part of the story, but it's not the rest of the game. Everyone's kind of ignoring what happens the rest of it. Star Fox Zero got very different, like very weird with what it could do, different missions and stuff like that. And it was an attempt to reboot the series that fell on its face. Did not sell well. The Wii U sucked.
Yeah, I would say
I love my Wii U, but
console, unfortunately.
Right. And would you have rather them have ported Zero to try and force it to work, or go, okay, we know 64 was popular. We have this engine we're working with. We're going to let these developers work on it. And if this sells really well, we might be able to continue that on and do something new, which I'm hoping they do. But sometimes, and a couple of different series have proven this, sometimes just redoing this game is a good starting point to continue on. Like, I wish, like, Army Men, or not Army Men. Oh God, I'm blanking on the name all of a sudden. The other one, not Fire Emblem, but
Advance Wars.
Advance Wars. Thank you. I just kept thinking of different games. Advance Wars was a really, really good remake, I wish it sold better, and that probably would have continued the series, but they just kind of like, it didn't sell well enough and went from there. Like, I would have loved to see
Yeah,
Advance Wars continue.
the problem is though is that sometimes developers do that and they act like it's all like, if this does well, then we'll continue the series, but then they don't actually.
Well,
And
that was more of just like the Nintendo side of it. Like,
Yeah.
if it had sold, if they had a reason, but
There's
Fire
potential.
Emblem's become their bread and butter on that, so they just
Yeah.
don't. Which I was at least happy to have what I had. I was like, I like this. Yay.
But yeah, because I really enjoyed Advance Wars because I got the reboot camp. Really enjoyed it.
It was good.
So good. But
it got delayed for weird reasons. But
I'm hearing what you're saying, and I don't necessarily disagree with you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if this Star Fox does well, which it's looking and sounding like it will, and we get more Star Fox from this, then I'm happy.
Because also think about it, like one of the games you mentioned for Zeldas that we got, which was the one with Zelda, which was Echoes of Wisdom. We only got that because of the engine and development of a remake of A Link's Awakening. That is the main impetus for that game even existing, is because the remake was developed and did well, and they had the engine and worked with it. Kind of what I'm hoping for Star Fox. Star Fox is being made, has the engine, proving it works. That could be the impetus for a new title coming from that. And that's what I'm hoping for. Honestly, that's what I want. I really do.
I think this is I think their MO here is because from what people said is when they showed him off in the movie, nobody knew who he was in terms of the newer generation.
Yeah.
So
it was because there's no games. That's the problem.
Well, because
all these kids are asking like, who's Star Fox? He looked cool, and that anime stuff looked cool. And then they're like, forget that, they look real now. But they're like, here's a new Star Fox game, so that's a good idea. To if you're going to pick one, pick the most popular one at least.
And I totally understand
the games have been available. Like the Switch has been out there, and if you had online, then you had Star Fox, Star Fox 2, Star Fox 64. You didn't have some of the bigger ones because they just they couldn't do GameCube at the time. But I'm sure Star Fox Adventures is going to eventually come out, but that would have confused the shit out of some people.
You don't know how many people, though, when the Switch was out and stuff, that were just like, I wish I could play this game. And I'm like,
you can. It's right there. Yeah. This is why the challenges, I think, could work
Nintendo
so well
Switch
for
Online,
people.
and I'm like, Nintendo Switch Online is not doing a good job of telling you what you get.
Yeah,
with these
agreed.
things. Because people be like, I wish I could play the original game. I'm like, you can. Wish I could play Super Mario Bros. 3. You can.
Now, it's there.
Yeah.
Because
so
there's still
always
much. Oh, go ahead.
So there's like, show that off more sometimes, guys. Like, don't take up our direct time. Don't you dare. But like, put that in your commercials at the end. Just be like, and play the original with Nintendo Switch Online membership. It's like, sell your freaking membership, you schmucks.
Well, I'm hoping the challenges can kind of help with that. Like, they need to be more front and center and not just stuck away in the side. Because, if they're cycling through and focusing on games, they could focus, like, here's some challenges to get these cards. And they could be based on, like, oh, I saw this Star Fox in the movie. Oh, cool, I can get some cards of that if I play these games and try, Star Fox 1 and 2.
Can you imagine the increase in Game Pass or PlayStation Plus memberships if you could share it with 8 people regardless of region, like you can with the Nintendo Switch Online, where I can give it to a family of 7 other people and split the fucking cost? Then everybody's just like, dude, you have to get the online with this.
I don't even split the cost. It's just worth it to me to let everyone
play. Then the developers are seeing more people playing their games concurrently, and it's just like there's all this win that you could get out of it, but they don't push that.
Yeah, Microsoft had a family plan for a little while and got rid of it. We loved that. Everyone in my household had that damn thing. But in the end, like Chase, I understand what you're getting at, and I want a new game as well. But I don't think they have the people that even know what Star Fox is to warrant making a new one without sending it to its death. Because if it came out and you didn't know what it was, no one's going to buy it. Like, a lot of kids aren't going to understand. And I think it's the best of both worlds to hit while the iron's hot, because he got shown in the movie. That kind of brought some interest in. This is a quick and easy turnaround, which proves that the engine can work while they just have to build it around the framework of the original game. And then from that, I think we all agree they need to take those next steps to continue it.
Yeah, what I'll be mad about is if they don't take the next steps. That's when I'll
Agreed, and I'll be
get
annoyed too.
But
I mean, that kind of happened with
The
F-Zero. We
important
got
part
GX,
is
and then they just stopped.
the important part is this is a new studio, and because this is a new studio, especially if it does well, Nintendo could be like, "Here's a blank check, make another one."
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
I mean, look at Mercury Steam when they did the remake of Metroid 2, and then that led to Dread. You know, like they remade an older game, proved what they could do, got the engine working, and then all of a sudden we get a
they're rumored to
brand
be
new
working on
Metroid.
another Metroid, so it's like, go for it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with remakes and remasters. It's not what my issue is. It was just more along the
I
lines
think
of
it's a necessary step in this case.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine. Like, I respect the opinion. It is a bit of a sour spot for me. But
without this game, how do you expect people to know what a Star Fox is to buy the new one?
Well, I think people know what a Star Fox is now because of the movie. So, regardless, like, striking while the iron's hot, I agree. Did it need to be a remake? We don't know, but it's fine. Like, I'm getting the game regardless. So, at the end of the day, like, it is what it is. My point that I was just making back then and kind of got cut short a little bit, and I'm just bringing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bring it to a head.
I didn't.
No.
Mean to if I did.
We're not. Like, we were on time crunch to talk about other stuff as well. But just
my apologies.
No. There's nothing to apologize about. It was just the point of, like, the remakes not necessarily getting, because, like, the problem with people complaining about the Zelda one is just like, yeah, but you're getting new games. That was where my issue with the Star Fox one's been. And, like, I get it, maybe Star Fox has been popular. I don't have a problem with remakes and remasters. But what I have a problem with is when you're getting remakes or remasters and you haven't gotten new games to go with it.
Like, even those Zeldas, though, like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, we still, Breath of the Wild did come out, but we had to get Wind Waker and Twilight Princess remade, the HD ports of those, before we got that. They were kind of there to fill it in. That's like in Nintendo's MO, it seems. Fire Emblem got remakes of some of their older games before we got newer ones.
It's great. Use them to fill in the gaps. But like when the gap is just infinite, don't just.
But we didn't know about Breath of the Wild before we got.
But we knew something was being made.
I'm pretty sure something's probably made for Star Fox, but they're not going to lay their cards out for everything. Nintendo doesn't like to announce stuff until they're closer to the date.
Let's just all be thankful we're not getting another Star Fox guard. There we go.
Yeah, true.
That was
and on that
note, that was fun, but yeah, it was such a weird connection to Star Fox. Like, it was a good game, but just so weird.
It was fun, like falling in a rose bush fun. Okay.
I thought it was a better use of the gamepad, but yeah.
Yeah, that was a tower defense, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was, I guess it's creative with the gamepad, but it was such a weird one.
Star Fox, so.
Yeah.
That was that was a weird one.
I like my tower defense, but yeah, it was interesting.
Fair enough. All right, so let's talk about our thoughts and letter grade for this direct. Steven, can you start?
I had an A prepared for them,
mm-hmm.
and then I saw the Space Marine 2 trailer, so they get an A-.
Yeah, okay.
They almost had a flawless Nintendo Direct where nothing looked, quote, rough.
Was that Direct's fault or Saber's fault?
Yeah, nobody knows.
Whoever decided to put that in there. So I'm going to give it the Direct's fault. So that's the only reason they keep their letter grade, but they get a little minus, is because I'm like, that looked rough, and you put it in there anyway.
Fair enough. Chase, what about you?
They had some pretty good announcements. Most of them might not be for me. Like Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that. I'm like, okay. But yeah, I'll give them B+, B+, A-, again.
Fair. For this one, I'm going to give it an A because there was a lot of games that I've already pre-ordered that I'm going to be playing that I'm excited for. I liked how the Ocarina of Time remake, the little bits we've seen where it's kind of leading to and the hints towards it. I didn't think it looked bad for a lot of the design, but I want to see the rest of the world and see how Link fits in it, because I think that's going to kind of determine, like, we're just seeing a kid sitting in a bed, which could go in many different directions depending on how the rest of the world looks. If he doesn't fit into it, he'll look
I've
weird.
already seen the fan art where they have what do you call it? Where they have Luke Skywalker showing up from The Last Jedi, and he's just like, I'm gonna kill him.
That's great. Oh man. I know I saw some complaints of people talking about, like, oh, this is full of games that everybody else got 3 years ago. And I'd like to remind you, the Switch 2 has only been out for a year. What the fuck do you expect? Like, it's getting a bunch of support that has to play catch
The more
up.
important thing to look at is how many things are getting day and date with the other versions, both from the other directs, showcases, state of plays, which you had to find out afterwards because they don't show the other consoles, or the Summer Games Fest, that you find out, oh wait, it's all the same time, except for one, which is my anticipated game of the year.
Nice. So yeah, I'm happy with what they showed and going from there. And in fairness, Nintendo doesn't show other systems on their thing either. I think it's just the only, like, it's a Microsoft thing, or the other one isn't really console specific, so they don't.
I know
care.
it's just weird that, like, we didn't find, they wanted to keep Onimusha to themselves and stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because that would have been interesting. Because I wonder if how much of that is like Nintendo wanting to have the announcement versus stuff like that. But then there was Switch 2 games announced on Xboxes, so who knows? No idea. All right, given the length of it, do we still want to try and have our big question for this week, or do we want to just discuss it?
Okay. Yeah, I've got this easy.
This is going to be the longest show I think we've ever done. So fuck it, let's do it.
Do it live.
2 directs.
Yep.
2 things.
So now that the big three and others have had their showcases, what is your most anticipated game so far? Chase, since you have the confidence and actually have an answer right off the bat, we're going to start with you.
E-Day.
Nice. Okay. Stealing my homework, but yeah. You're copying my homework, man. Steven, what about you?
I was shocked that Chase didn't say Hello Kitty Partyland, because that's coming to Switch too. But I wanted to pick something that that had a date, and then it didn't. So I'm in a weird spot. So I wanted to pick Zelda, but I can't. But I'm going to cheat, and I'm still going to pick Belmont's Curse, because technically it has a release date, and hopefully it's really close for the Switch.
Have to see on that one. Mine is going to end up kind of being a 3-way tie for the games that I really want to play. I'm right there with E-Day. Trust me, I fucking want to play E-Day. But I'm really, really liking what I'm seeing of Fable. Fable is looking fantastic. I'm loving how I can just manipulate and explore and play in that world. It's kind of fulfilling some of the crazy Peter Molyneux promises of how they interacted with people and so forth. Still can't plant a tree and watch it grow, whatever. But you can do so many things that affects all of it, and I want to play around in that world.
Kick a chicken.
Oh yeah, no, I was always called Chicken Chaser in half those damn games. And then of course Ocarina of Time. I'm very excited for the potential of that. I know you didn't say an exact date, but it, for a lot of games didn't, but it's still 2026. I think that's going to get its own direct. Actually, I know that's going to get its own direct. If once again, as Chase said, if Splatoon's got one,
go head to head with GTA 6 and be like, we don't care about your game.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised nobody got even so much as a trailer for GTA 6 or mentioned it. Like I figured,
the only person who decided to have a November release. The only person who decided to have a November release date so far has been Godzilla. So
nobody stops Godzilla.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's kind of where mine goes. Like Ocarina of Time is a game I've always really loved, so I'm excited to play that, and we get that this year. But E-Day, I want to play the co-op. I want to play the multiplayer. I just want to explore that world and learn about it. But I have the same thing for Fable, but it's just single player exploration, and I'm excited about it. So, all right. Well, I think that's pretty much going to wrap this up with one of the longest episodes we've ever done. Which is funny because we actually skipped like half our sections normally, went straight to the news, and we still ended up taking this long.
Can you imagine?
God. So, Steven, what you picked up? No. Yeah, we're not doing that. Don't make me pick up my Batmobile. I had Borderlands.
Borderlands.
All right. Well, this has been the Zenspath Entertainment Network Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Powers. If you have enjoyed watching this over on YouTube, please feel free to give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Let us know what your answer to the big question. What is your most anticipated game after this holiest of E3 seasons? Even though it's not E3 anymore, we're still calling it that. Go ahead and subscribe to get the episodes as soon as they come up, and also share with your friends. It helps us out a lot. If you want to listen to this version of the audio one, you can go search your podcaster of choice and just look for the Zenspath Entertainment Network Podcast. Find us there. Leave us a 5-star review and let us know where you left that at over on our Discord so that we can find out where that is and mention it on the show. You can find all the stuff, including our Discord, the video and audio versions of the show, articles we write, and other things that we do over at zenspath.com. And then from there, it's pretty much just come talk to us over on the Discord. That's the easiest way to get in touch with all of us, where we share memes, stupid jokes. Steven hates everything that I love, and I share a bunch of 3D print stuff. And Chase just is the one person trying to keep us from killing each other.
Referee.
He tries. He does well. In all seriousness, no, we get along just fine. But yeah, this has been episode 224, and we're out. Peace.
Please be good, Crazy Taxi.
Please be good. This has been a production of the Zenspath Entertainment Network Podcast by the staff at zenspath.com. The show is created and edited by Jeremy Powers. You can find the video edition of the show on our YouTube channel at ZenspathCom. The audio edition is located wherever you find your podcasts. Links to all versions of the show, as well as to our Discord where you can talk with us directly, is located at www.zenspath.com. Please leave us a like, thumbs up, comment, and review where you can to help us grow.